Yo, people, welcome back to another stream of Two Up Front. I'm your host, Ace, and I'm with my brother, Major, on transfer deadline day. So, yeah, we had to push this episode back a day, and I think it was definitely for the best because now we actually get to react live to, I know Major and United have had their Europa League draw, so you can get into that a little bit, see what fixtures they have coming up. We got the Champions League draw, gonna talk about that a little bit. Then, yeah, I guess have a little look at the weekend fixtures, give our takes, give our predictions. This week we're actually gonna give score predictions to add a bit more jeopardy into getting the right result. We're gonna start keeping track, and yeah, in a couple of weeks we'll update everyone on what we're gonna do with the points, and I guess like a fun kind of challenge of what we're gonna do this season. We'll get into all of that. But to start off, how are you doing, my guy Major? How are you feeling today? Transfer deadline day. How are you doing?
Good, man. Obviously, big weekend ahead, some big fixtures, and yeah, man, there's been a lot of activity. So, yeah, man, looking forward to getting into the conversation.
Hey, bro, what's going on, bro? Your spirits are a bit lower today, man. Is it Jaden Sancho?
What, bro? I'm very calm, bro.
You sure,
I'm
bro?
calm, bro. I'm calm.
Normally, yeah, you
I'm
seem very
relaxed, bro.
reserved.
I'm calm. I'm relaxed. Just grateful to be here.
Nah, I
Told you,
can
bro.
see that, bro. I can see
Told
that,
you,
bro.
bro.
I
You know,
can see that.
I'm a God-fearing man. Do you get me? Just faithful for life, grateful for life, man. That's what it
Hey,
is.
no,
Just
I love to hear it, bro. I love to hear it. Big up to everyone who's watching this live, watching this after. Big up to Osman who's live. Appreciate it, bro. And yeah, definitely leave your give us your takes too, Osman. I know you're a United fan from that DP as well, and obviously knowing you. So yeah, let us know how you're feeling as well, because I want to hear how the United. I want to talk to the United community tonight. I want to see how we're all feeling about this move for the loan obligation to buy for Chelsea for Sancho. Kick us off, bro. I think before we even get into the weekend fixtures, I think we have to start off with that one. That's big breaking news. Talk to me, bro. How you feeling, man? Because we haven't said anything about it. 25 million is looking like obligation. Looks like it's gone through. How are you feeling, bro? Let me know.
feel like with Sancho, it's been like it's just been such a journey. Even going all the way back from when we were trying to sign him from Dortmund initially. Like, if you remember how long that saga was and
Yeah.
everything that involved, like it went on, and then yeah, when we were finally able to get it across the line, it was like yeah, a massive sign of relief. And obviously, since then, it's not exactly gone according to plan. And yeah, I feel like this transfer window, you know, the rumors just started to increase as it went on, and it kind of started to look inevitable that you know what, he's gonna leave. And yeah, there was Juve there, where at a point in time it was looking like you know what, that was going to be the move, and obviously now we're seeing him go to Chelsea. And I think a lot of United fans, obviously, because me personally, I like Sancho. Like, I would have wanted his tenure at United to have been much more smooth or much more successful. And yeah, it's a real shame that obviously it's not worked out like how we all would have hoped. I think he's a talented footballer. And obviously we saw everything that he was doing at Dortmund. And yeah, there was so much promise and potential there. And yeah, just to see how everything has transpired at United. Obviously, we all know what happened last season. Yeah, I feel like it's quite a shame. And obviously, just for him, I'm sure, obviously, he wants to be playing football. He wants to kind of get his career back on track. And obviously, Chelsea have made so many signings, and you know what? It's going to be very interesting to see how much game time he actually gets there, because obviously, yeah, they made the signings on Neto, Felix, etc. And yeah, in those attacking positions, they've got quite a lot of options. So it's going to be interesting to see how it transpires. I actually feel like, you know what, in the right system, I think Sancho could actually be quite effective.
Yeah,
Like,
he's shown it
and
already.
yeah,
It's not like he hasn't shown it.
and yeah, no, and I'm not even talking about generally. I'm talking about with Chelsea. Yeah, and that's the worry. Do you get me? I feel like that's the worry, that he actually might go to Chelsea and things might gel. And you know what? Like all of a sudden, we're looking at it like, damn, like, look at his time at us. Look what he's doing over there. And yeah, man. And then obviously, when you're looking at the price as well, so the loan obligation to buy, what, 25 million? Yeah.
Like Osman,
It's,
Osman almost says, his wages off the books, which is a good
Mhm.
point as well. I didn't think about that
Yeah.
actually, about the wages issue.
Yeah.
Save 30 million in cash, whilst 25 million fee next summer is booked as profit as well. Which, to be fair, I guess they're paying a loan fee for this season, and next season
For this season, yeah.
obligation kicks in. So 30 million. All that. I don't know if do you remember how much you guys paid for him? I don't remember
I think it was just over 70. I think it was a
just
little
over
over
70.
70. Yeah, it was a little over 70. We're taking a severe loss. Like, we're taking a severe
Massive
loss.
loss. Like Chelsea are definitely
Yeah.
getting, I would say, a good player at a very cheap price. Whatever you think of Sancho,
Yeah.
there's definitely talent there. And for how much they're getting him, 2 seasons on
Yeah.
from it, not working out at United, is definitely.
Mhm.
For Chelsea, I think it's a no-brainer. I guess
Yeah.
in their mind, they're like, they're probably banking on the fact that they might be able to even flip him again, maybe to money back a bit more, because he's still very young. Like, let me see, Osman almost. He also says, just when there. How do you think Chelsea can handle the off the ball intensity of Sancho, especially with a midfield with Enzo? Which again, this is a very good question. Very good question. How Chelsea actually make all these players fit that they've got is another kind of conversation. To me, what this move means to me, whether Chelsea fans want to accept it or not, means that the Mudryk thing has. I think Chelsea have. That's sad. Oh, I think Chelsea have. That's sad. They've accepted that Mudryk move hasn't worked out, because the only way that you can justify this move is by saying that Mudryk is basically not an option anymore, and Sancho and Pedro and Neto are going to be competing for that left wing spot. Is what I'd have to assume Chelsea are thinking, making this move. So in terms of how it actually works as like a structure as a team, I don't know either, man. I think Enzo's probably the bigger issue here, where I think midfield-wise, we have to figure out what their starting midfield is going to be in the first place. I think Sancho's an addition. Like, he's an addition that they've gone in with, because, again, we'll probably talk about it straight after this, because they're probably going to be able to offload Sterling for this season as well. So it's kind of like a body for a body, and that's like probably get him at a cheaper rate than what United were paying him anyway.
I think they saw an opportunity, and like how Chelsea have been moving in this transfer window. They said, let's go for it. Like, and I think, generally speaking, obviously Chelsea, they've been quite active in the transfer window. They've got a lot of different pieces, and like, it's got to be now down to Maresca to figure out like how to fit everything together. And Sancho, it was one of them ones where you saw it and you're like, he's not necessarily a player that they needed, but obviously, like, as regards to depth in those positions, then they've got a lot. Like, I think we were already talking about, in the last Premier League match, who they were able to bring off the bench. And like, I think Sancho, it just adds to their depth in attacking areas. So obviously Sancho, I think he's got a point to prove. I think he's going to be like, desperate to prove a lot of the doubters wrong. And like, this is now an opportunity for him to now, like, really, like, go against those critics who are saying, you know what, he can't do it in the Premier League. Like, do you get me? Like, oh yeah, you know what, he was great in the Bundesliga, but in the Premier League, he's not capable of performing at a top level. Like, he now can have like a fresh start for himself and say, you know what, I'm going to prove the doubters wrong. As regards to United, I think, like, with what Osman was saying, I think they're probably looking at it financially. They said, you know what, like, he's not a part of our plans, probably want to try and get him off the books. And then, do you get me? Like, just move on from the whole situation. So I think United probably looked at it and said, you know what? Like, they've been quite active as well with outgoings recently. McTominay's gone to Napoli. Like, they've been trying to get, move players on who they don't necessarily see in their plans. And I think they looked at Sancho and said, you know what? Like, if we can just draw a line under this, like, move him on, then I think most United fans, a lot of United fans would have rather him move to Juve. like not Chelsea. And yeah, it's gonna be now is a thing where it's just like, did you get me? We're now gonna witness and see if United are gonna really regret that decision, because
I think that's the big worry in it. Just the fact that he just needs to be decent at Chelsea, and now it's gonna be you let him go for 25-30 million.
Yeah,
I think that's now the big risk. Yeah, that's the big risk. I don't know where you stand on this as well, bro. It's that whole kind of conversation too, where it's like, yeah, it hasn't worked out with Ten Hag, but Ten Hag gets sacked in the next, let's say, 2-3 months. Let's say the season starts off, then it's like, were you not better off maybe at least just keeping Sancho, or maybe the next manager might be able to make him work at United? Or do you feel like it just wasn't going to work at United at this stage?
I think it is probably a combination of, he probably wants to leave, like him himself. I think after everything that's gone on, he's probably thinking, you know what, I want a fresh start. And as regards to like this season and the immediate plans, like I think he wasn't high enough for his liking in the pecking order, like for like when it comes to like starting. So I think he probably just feels like, you know what, I'm not in favor with this manager, and he probably wouldn't want to leave it to chance, where it's just like, oh, you know what, on the chance that the manager gets sacked, I may get an opportunity. So I think it's something that himself he probably would have been pushing for. And I think United as well, like, yeah, they're looking at it and saying, you know what, like Sancho's not just come, like, do you get me, like he's been here for a while, like, yeah, like it's not like it's like it was, you know, a signing that was just made last year. Like, do you get me? So I think they probably looked at it and said, you know what, it's not worked out. We're better off trying to just move on from the situation and progress. So yeah, I think that was probably the thinking behind it.
Yeah, no, I'm husband. If you're still watching, I'll be curious if you could explain, because I know you said earlier that United don't think this as a loss in the books and it counts as a profit. I'll be curious. I don't know if you know the answer to this, Major. Because yeah, to me, I don't see how this can be the case. When you spent like 70 million to bring him in, and then you're selling him on like 2 years later for 25-30 mil. I don't know how that could be as a profit. Like, yeah, so I don't know. Maybe
say that again. Say that again. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, because my husband earlier said, "Oh no, United don't take this as a loss on the books," and then he says, "On the books, it counts as a profit." So I'm just asking him if you could clarify exactly how it counts as a profit, or if you understand that.
Asking if with the structure of the payments, it doesn't, like it doesn't necessarily, because we paid that much beforehand. Yeah, I think he's right. It doesn't necessarily, on the books, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a loss. Like, like I think, pardon me. Yeah, like he might be able to like give like a more succinct like explanation to it. But I was even reading on it like quite recently, not just with Sancho's deal, but with like quite a few others. And like I think as regards to the books and the financials, like it's not as straightforward as you paid X amount before and you're selling him for less, so it's a loss. I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll be curious to look into that a bit more afterwards. Yeah, I know Osman said that I sent the breakdown there. I'm not sure where you said that, Osman, but okay, the initial, the 85 million initial fee from Sancho was on a 5-year contract. Okay, his book value is amortized over that period. So his value now is 17 million euros. Okay, I'm following a little bit, because again, this amortization conversation, I'm just like, I don't know what that means. I'm sure you still have to pay, what's it called, Dortmund, the fee that you agreed initially, even if his current value is 17 million. But yeah, I see. We'll come back to that. I see even more Reed also says, the brother is a cam masquerading as a winger. Good luck to him. I don't see him starting at all, because in central areas, Palmer and Kunku, Felix are all ahead of him. Out wide, Neto and Nani ahead of him. And I agree with this as well. I think he's definitely going to be back up to both players this year. And also, I guess with Nani as well, he's also still, we need to see a bigger sample size before kind of knowing whether he's also guaranteed on that right wing as well. I know off the back of a hat trick, it seems crazy, but it's still only one game. So over the course of the season, I don't think it's a guarantee that Sancho can't. Even though I know Sancho is definitely better on the left, I don't think it's a guarantee that he couldn't compete with Nani for that right wing spot as well. But I agree. Is that the bigger issue with Chelsea is they have so many players and how they fit all these players into their team. That is Maresca's job. He's been talking very cruddy. I don't know if you've been seeing his press conferences where he's just been saying whatever comes to his mind, bro. So yeah. I think you could talk like that as long as the results, as long as you keep delivering these 6-2 Wolves results, you can talk however way you like. But once you start dropping points, the confidence that he's been just letting it off with, people are gonna be they're gonna be holding you to that a lot more when the results aren't matching up. So yeah, right now, fair play to him, innit? They're winning in the Prem. So we'll keep an eye on that. I guess we'll get into that a bit more too when we get into the weekend preview because they have Palace, which won't be an easy game for them. So we'll talk about it. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it. So so that'll be interesting. Sancho, I think overall, like I from a United point of view, I think that this is also where maybe I feel like as much as Chelsea have probably maybe gone a bit too far with making it clear to players that like if you're not currently with us, you're just not gonna play. So I think it's put pressure on the players like the Sterlings to seek out moves. Chelsea have made it very, very clear to them. But I do kind of feel like maybe United maybe should have made it clear to Sancho that it's Juventus or nothing. Because I think this move to Chelsea can very easily bite you guys in the back for how much money is as well. I'm like, if he does remotely well at Chelsea, it could be long. But again, I guess you guys are banking on him not being that great and maybe continuing his United issues at Chelsea as well. And then that's where
I think it's also
too bad. So
and it's also a thing where it's like, they might just be prioritizing the financial side of things. Like, so and then obviously just trying to say, you know what, we're gonna focus on United, like, and hope that obviously, like, things go to plan and like their success. Because ultimately if there's success at United, like how we want there to be success, then this wouldn't be an issue. It will be an issue if it's like if there's problems and there's not success and United are going through a really bad period and then Sancho's at Chelsea and he's doing very well. And Chelsea also as a club, they've elevated and, they're now like, competing for trophies. They're, in the league, they're challenging. Like if they just overall elevate as a club, then that's where, and United, like, we go through a bad period, things don't look like they're progressing, then I think that's when things are going to get, like very problematic. So quite toxic. So
so that's definitely one that we're going to keep an eye on. I guess to kind of conclude the Sancho talk before we kind of get on to, I guess, another Chelsea player is Momoy Reed says, should have went to Juve. Slower league and Motta style would have suited him. His team has failed him, in my opinion. And again, I guess this is definitely going to be one of them ones where if it doesn't now work out at Chelsea, then you might be spitting here. You might be saying something that maybe a lot of people might not.
He's got a point to prove because I think like when a lot of people like believe that with Sancho, obviously he did well at Dortmund, and I personally think he would have done well at Juve as well. Like I think the Italian league does suit him, and I think he's got a point to prove as regards to can he do well in the Prem. Like, I think like that's a big point to prove because like obviously so far he's not been able to hit the heights that he would have wanted to, and now he's got the opportunity, and we're gonna see. So
bro, I guess staying with Chelsea because they're definitely the team that keeps us entertained throughout this transfer window. Whenever I feel like it's been not been the loudest window for a lot of other teams, but Chelsea have they've been in there for all the big deals, the Osimhen's, the Tonys, and so kind of like adding on to that with the Chelsea, like I think I would give what's it called, Sancho a bit more kind of hope working in Chelsea. Maybe if Chelsea also had got the striker. So Chelsea now without the striker, I don't know how Sancho comes in there and actually does his thing as well. Is my kind of initial thoughts. I think I'm leaning with Romoy in that too, where I think the Juventus move definitely would have probably been the move that I would have been much more confident that it would have been the best move for Sancho. The Chelsea move now, I think, is definitely another big risk. But again, I guess we'll kind of see what happens because I guess that's kind of come about because I guess moving on from Sancho is that I don't know whether it's confirmed now because I don't know if people in the chat can let us know, please, with the whole Sterling move to Arsenal. So I don't know. Obviously, I think we've now actually officially passed the deadline. So I don't know what's going on there, bro. So if anyone knows, please let us know. But I guess that's why Chelsea were able to get through the Sancho deal, knowing that they're probably going to let Sterling go. But before I kind of give my take, but I'm actually curious about what you think about that Sterling move. I trust your opinion as well. What's kind of like your initial take from the outside? And I'll give you from like the Arsenal fan point of view, because today has been, oh my God, bro. I swear, Arsenal fans, oh my God, bro. What do you think?
What are you saying? Chaos
Chaos, bro, man. Oh my God. My fan base, the one thing that we can do, bro, is that we can go from deluded to just super negative, but very, very quickly. Like sometimes, even me, I was on Twitter today, I was like, bro, this is even bringing down my mood. Like,
oh gosh,
this is bringing down my mood, bro. Just how doom and gloom everyone got. So I don't, but go on. Well, what do you think about the Sterling move, though? I guess. We've spoken about Sterling in the past. I mean, it'd be quite interesting to, What do you think?
So obviously, like initially when we were hearing talks about Sancho going to Chelsea, a lot of the talk was that Sterling was going to come to United, and obviously a lot of people are very critical of that move. Like they were looking at the fact that he's almost 30, and like where he was at this point of his career, like, do you get me? Like, it didn't make sense for United. And then of course, ex-City, ex-Liverpool, like, there was just a lot of negative like criticism, and a lot of negative opinions regarding the whole saga. Sorry, when it came to Sterling coming to United. And like in many ways, like I can understand some of the criticism because like I think you're looking at the United team and you're thinking, like, is Sterling what we need? And Sterling as a player, I actually do feel like a lot of the time he does actually get quite disrespected, like as regards to everything that he's done and everything he's achieved. Like this is someone that came into the league at a very young age. Like, he broke through in that Liverpool team and, he was putting in really good performances. Obviously, he gets the move to City and obviously was a big part of those league titles, those trophies he won. And he's gone to Chelsea and he's not necessarily hit the heights that he would have hoped to have reached. But man, like it was only in the last stream when we were talking about the players who have scored more than 100 Premier League goals. And Sterling was one of them. Like, he's achieved a lot in his career. And I don't know if you remember, but before last Euros, in the 2020 Euros that took place in 2021, Sterling was England's best player. Like, Sterling had a great campaign. Sterling had a great campaign. He stepped up. So, like, I think sometimes the disrespect Sterling gets as regards to his career, like, is unjustified. So I think, I just wanted to say that initially. For as regards to his move to Arsenal, I actually don't think it's a bad move. I feel like Arsenal need depth in attacking positions. Yes, I think that, like, preferably there's other players that Arsenal would have wanted to have got. So I know there's talk of like Nico Williams, for example. Like, and if you were able to pull that off, then do you get me? That would have been a really great signing. But obviously, I think there's been a lot of conversations regarding Martinelli, his form, what it is that he's doing. People have spoke about obviously like the dependency on Saka, and him consistently. Do you get me? Consistently having to play games like just at such a basis, and he's been doing that for quite a while. And you don't want later on his body to break down, and you want to be able to give him a rest here and there. And I think Sterling, obviously, he comes off the left. Do you get me? Like, I don't know if Arteta might plan to also use him on the right on occasion, but overall, I think it just adds more depth. He's experienced, he's won titles, he knows what it takes to win, and he's again someone with a point to prove. Like, I think a lot of people have just quite simply wrote him off. And like, he's someone who will be looking at it and thinking, you know what, I've got a point to prove. I still believe I'm a quality player. And man, I think he can come into that Arsenal team and he can, have an impact. And it may not necessarily be the groundbreaking signing that a lot of Arsenal fans wanted. And it's not necessarily a thing where I believe, like, yeah, you know what? If Sterling and Nico Williams were both available, then do you get me? Sterling's the one you would have went for, and maybe on top of Sterling, Arsenal would have wanted other signings. But as regards to just Sterling specifically, I think yeah, it adds some depth. You know, like someone who has experience, someone who has a point to prove. Arteta's already been very vocal as regards to his relationship with Sterling, saying that, yeah, you know, they have a really good relationship. So that also might be, you know, something that's really beneficial for Arsenal as well. So yeah, like I think it's one of them ones where I understand why Arsenal said, you know what, let's go for this. Like I understand the thinking behind it. And, you know, like I think a lot of Arsenal fans are probably thinking we're so close to the title. Why don't we just go and get that, you know, that one major signing that can make all the difference? And I think they're looking at Sterling and thinking, yeah, that's not it, dog. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah. And I think that's where a lot of the negativity is coming from. And that I understand. Like,
It's not
maybe,
even. It's
yeah.
not actually that, you
Yeah.
know. It's
What?
no,
What?
like
A lot of the Sorry,
go on, sorry.
a lot of the things that I've been seeing is like things to do with, like, for example, like, yeah, talking about someone like a Nico Williams and saying, you know what, or talking about someone like a Isak, obviously, who, yeah, just, you know, wasn't available to get. But I think off the back of last season, a lot of Arsenal fans were thinking, you know what, if we can get a striker, if we can get a forward that can kind of provide that X factor that can make the difference, then that could potentially push us over the edge, because you're competing with a City team who has Haaland,
Yeah.
who is just putting up insane numbers. Do you get me? And they're relentless, and they're gonna come again and again and again and again. And I think that, yeah, from a lot of the Arsenal fans that I've spoken to, like, yeah, they wanted, you know, like that attacking signing to help put them over the edge. And I think some of them are quite underwhelmed with the Sterling signing in its isolation. But yeah, but I think that I understand that point of view, and I don't think necessarily he is the signing to put Arsenal over the edge. Like, he's not the major signing. I'm in no way suggesting that he is, but I think that I also feel like he can be of benefit. Like, do you get me? Like, I think, yeah, yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a reason to have like super doom and gloom. Like, do you get me? Like, I think he
Yeah.
can be of benefit. He does add depth to the attacking positions, and I think, yeah, I understand why Arsenal have made the signing. It might not necessarily be ideal, but I understand why they've done it. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. And ultimately too, like I do get the Arsenal fan base as well who were losing their mic. I think I guess I think it was more where it went full on toxic was just when it was more looking like we're not gonna get anyone. Where again it's like there was the whole we spent this amount of money in the last few years and we got like 10 goalkeepers and we haven't got any attackers in. And yeah, that one I definitely agreed with. Like, yeah, we couldn't leave this window without at least bringing in a body, especially how many players we've sold. We've got rid of Nketiah, got rid of ESR, got rid of I guess Wendy said it earlier that Reece Nelson to Fulham was off, and I think he was also going to go to Ipswich, which I saw just now that it's also off. So it's looking like he's probably going to stay. But initially, it was looking like we're going to get rid of all our players that, even though Arteta is horrible at rotating his team, the players that at least would get some minutes are being sold, and you're not bringing anyone in. And there's more games this season. So it was just like, what are we doing here? Like, so I think the Arsenal fan base was imploding earlier when we weren't getting anyone, which is where we were at. And then obviously you already know that Sterling, I won't like overall, it's definitely underwhelming signing in terms of like when you get like a name that maybe you'd be excited about, or a name maybe from abroad that you don't even know much about. You're like, oh, maybe this could be the missing link. So I think from that point of view, it's definitely underwhelming. But bro, when you go from starving to now be given some foods, it hits differently. Because now, bro, now the Sterling move is not as like, if you had told me this early in the winter that we're gonna bring Sterling, now I said stop that right now. But yeah, getting to the end where it was Sterling or nothing, yeah, I'll take Sterling, because I think like you said, overall, I think he is a good player. Like, I don't know whether he is as finished as maybe everyone like says. I don't think he is actually. I think if we lower, we spoke about this earlier, which again kind of ties into this point where it's like at Arsenal, we know he's coming in to back up Saka to give this guy some rest sometimes, because Arteta wants to run him to the ground. So yeah, he's gonna be good from that point of view. And then you have Trossard and Martinelli competing for that left wing position. And if anything, if neither of them are being serious enough, then he can play there as well. So again, I think he's better than what we had last year because he's still better than Reece Nelson. He's still better squad depth than we had. So it's still an improvement. So that's why overall, now that we're here and it's looking like it's gonna happen, yeah, I'll take Sterling, man, because I think his experience, him coming in for Saka sometimes to rest, him coming in to compete with Martinelli and Trossard is, I think, is what we needed. I think it's a bit hard when you have players like Saka who are good enough players that unless they're injured, they're gonna pretty much play every game anyway. And what player is good enough to come in that's happy to be an understudy to like a Saka? I think it's very hard to find players that are good enough that are also happy to be in that position as well. So I think Sterling at his age now is actually perfect for that. I think he would definitely take that more than maybe younger players who are more kind of coming into their prime would. And then what makes it even perfect? Why I'm actually even shocked. I need to see it. I want to say this after it's silent because I'm actually shocked that Chelsea, as much as I think if I'm Chelsea, I'm still gonna say we're gonna pay you 300k a week to sit in your house than to let you go on loan to Arsenal because he actually could be a little difference maker in whatever Arsenal do this season. I don't think he's robbed enough that Chelsea fans can sit there and be confident that letting him go to Arsenal won't come back to bite you at all, especially with him not having a chip on his shoulder, how Chelsea treated him. Yeah, I think it's risky from Chelsea. The same way I think United letting Sancho go to Chelsea is also very risky. So again, we're kind of in this kind of like three-way triangle now. Who's gonna take the biggest L in this kind of transfer domino cycle? So we're gonna find out this season.
Obviously, we've seen what happened with Havertz, and how a lot of the Chelsea fans spoke about Havertz, and then obviously he went to Arsenal, and as time went on, he gained confidence, and he started performing much better than he was previously, and it's now down to Sterling to say, you know what, I'm a quality player. I am going to show the Premier League. I am going to show Chelsea. I'm going to show Maresca that, you writing me off was rubbish. And he's going to be going to Arsenal with a point to prove. And,
100.
And I think Arteta as well. I think one thing I'll credit him with is that I think he's a very good motivator. I think he's someone that, he knows how to try and get the best out of players. And I think Arsenal currently, they've got a very nice environment. We've spoken about different teams' environments. We've spoken about the Chelsea environment. We've spoken about the United environment. And I think, currently, the Arsenal environment is a nice environment to go into. And echoing what Wendy said with, Sterling being a good signing, good depth. And Saka having cover, and then obviously Osman as well, talking about he likes Sterling and him fitting in an Arsenal system. I think that again, it is not the groundbreaking signing that a lot of Arsenal fans would have hoped for. I completely get it. When you guys just missed out on the league last season, not one Arsenal fan said, you know what we need? You know what we need next season. You know what's going to take us over the edge. You know what's going to ensure that in 2025 we are lifting the Premier League trophy.
Raheem.
Sterling.
Yeah, that was it, bro. I can confirm.
I'm sure not one person. You get me? Bro. People are saying Isak. Do you get me? People obviously later on, Nico Williams, you get me? No one was saying Sterling. So don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting to see Arsenal fans, do you get me, having a parade, screaming with excitement, saying we signed Raheem Sterling. But also, I think that Raheem Sterling is much better than how a lot of people have been talking about him. Do you get me? I think some of the conversations I've been seeing regarding Raheem Sterling, I'm just this is getting silly now. Do you get me? We're talking about him he's just. Do you get me?
Scrub, absolutely. Yeah, bro. We touched on it earlier, but we didn't really have the conversation about how. I think again, it's that difference in him coming to Arsenal and him going to United. I think that's probably been part of factor in this as well, where the United conversation was a lot more negative in terms of he's finished. United, he played
yeah,
for City, played for Liverpool.
For
Arsenal, we don't have
Liverpool,
those
yeah,
issues. Well, we don't care
yeah,
about him playing for City or playing for Liverpool. As long as he comes in with a chip on his shoulder and he delivers, hey man, listen, Raheem, come here. Outside, we'll take you. Like, we'll give you and what makes it even perfect, bro, is the fact that it's alone with no obligation. So, like you're saying, like with the Nicos or these other big players that Arsenal potentially might want next summer now, whatever happens this season, we say, hey, Raheem, either he does a great job and we say, yeah, Chelsea, cool, we'll take him for a much cheaper reduced price, or we go get the winger that we actually want. Which is why ultimately I'm saying that I'm shocked that Chelsea, I guess they're saving themselves 325k a week in it. So I guess financially it makes sense. But
yeah.
I'm
I think
shocked
that's the big
from a
reason why
footballing
they've
point
done
of
it.
view that I'm from a footballing reason, I'm shocked that they allowed this move to go through because I think it's definitely a risk from their point of view as well. It's a risk.
Remember when we were talking about this previously, bro, and we were talking about with what Maresca was saying, and him being very bold in the press conferences and just saying it how it is. Like, we spoke about how those words could potentially bring down the value of some of their players, and it's like now you're putting yourself in a position where just like you said that you're not going to play him, so it's either he's going to sit on his wages and get trained with the reserves, or you try to move him along. And other clubs, obviously, they're aware of that. They're like, they know that, ideally you would want to try and move him along. And I feel like, Maresca, it was a very interesting tactic to take that approach because, it's something that maybe he could have like just said, he could have just went ahead and, left Sterling on the bench and brought him on here or there, or like, he never needed to like just come out and say, you know what, he's just not my type of winger.
Yeah,
That's
just came out swinging.
he's just not my type of winger. I said, you see under me, you see those minutes.
So you're
You
not
see those
touching the
minutes
pitch,
that you're
bro.
looking. He
You're
said,
not touching the pitch.
he said under me.
Yeah.
He said,
forget about it.
He said he's not my type of winger. That's what it is. He said no offense, but this is just what it is. Do you get me? And
you know
what it is as
no
well.
offense for the offense. Yeah.
Bro. And I think it's
gone, bro.
You know what it is? We just need to quickly talk about Maresca as well, because like
God. Why you're talking about it, bro?
Go on.
Yeah, while you're talking about it, you can round off with this point as well, because this is one that we haven't really spoken about.
I'll get to that.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna talk on Maresca.
I'll get to that. But I think for like Maresca, like how he's even speaking, and what it is, it's one of them ones where a lot of the time success dictates how we view things. So if Maresca goes on to be very successful, then we're gonna say, you know what, he was so bold, he was so upfront, like he made the big.
He knew he was him.
Yeah, he knew it was him. He was confident. He knew what he was building. And if it doesn't, then it's like, oh yeah, the man management all over the place. Do you get me? He doesn't know how to handle a dressing room. Like, he comes to clubs, he causes chaos. Like, all of a sudden, the narrative around you can very quickly change. So, it's very interesting that he decided to take this approach where he was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna say how I feel. That's what it is. Like, so where he's got a lot of pressure under him as well. Like, do you get me? There's a lot
massive,
of
bro,
on him. He's got to deliver now. Like, you can't come and say all of these things and then now not deliver. So and with Osimhen, Chelsea, like
talking it.
Chelsea,
I'm gonna say I'm a hater. Talking it, bro.
Chelsea, you know what it is about Chelsea, and bro, I've said this about Chelsea. I think they do have a lot of quality. Like, they do have a lot of quality. They've got, do you get me? Like, a lot of attacking players who can come onto the pitch and they can impact a game. And I feel like they actually have made some good signings. The strategy behind their signings, that's another discussion. And I think one of the main things that a lot of us football fans, do you get me, who have looked at Chelsea and thought is, why haven't you gone and just tried to buy a certified striker, a certified number 9, someone that can put the ball in the back of the net, someone that can be, the missing piece to your jigsaw? Like, do you get me? And we've spoken again, like, Chelsea in this Premier League era, we saw Mourinho with Drogba, and we saw what Costa did. Like, and we thought, you know what? if Chelsea were able to just get someone like a Osimhen, then you know what? It could potentially be very dangerous. And it's very, very, like very, 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 very baffling to me. Very, very, very baffling to me that they didn't prioritize that position. Like, yeah, like I just don't understand it. Like, I don't know why they didn't prioritize that position. Again, yeah. And Tony, that's an interesting one because I think a lot of clubs have kind of been off Tony a bit. Like, but yeah, like, and it's funny because I think I saw something where like someone was talking about Tony going to Chelsea, and they were saying, you know what, like that's actually somewhere where things could actually work out for him. Like that actually could be a good move. You know how people were talking potentially about like, Arteta didn't want to like maybe upset the dressing room. So, Tony wasn't necessarily a player maybe he would want to go for. But with everything that's going on with Chelsea, with all the ins and outs and, the chaotic transfer strategy, like, I think Tony could have went to Chelsea and I think that actually would have made sense. Like, I think, to slot him in there, and I think he's doing a job. Like, do you get me? I think Tony will fit in well at Chelsea. Like, I think, yeah, like, do you get me? Arsenal, they've been building something, and I think Tony could have done well at Arsenal. But obviously, if Arteta has like wider reasons as to why he doesn't maybe want him in the team, then that's his decision. Like, he knows things that we don't. Like as regards to the dynamic of the dressing room and maybe not wanting to upset the balance. But yeah, with Chelsea, we've just been seeing chaos. Like, do you get me? Like, there is no balance to upset. Like, it's been chaos. So why don't you just bring Tony there? Like, do you get me? Like, I think, yeah, Wendy, exactly. The Chelsea dressing room is already upset. Fam, it's chaos. Like, it's chaos. So yeah, like, it's absolute chaos. Like, do you get me? People are going in like Chalobah, Sterling. Like, we're seeing everything that's been going on with that team.
Fire himself, man. Fire himself. We said it.
I'm surprised that, like, with all the chaos that's been going on with, Todd Bowley and everything, that they didn't actually go.
And bro, and this is why, man. But with, I guess, just sports in general, why again the result is so important. But at the same time, with the result, you also need to make sure that it's consistent and it's stable. And why I say that with Chelsea is that coming off the back, everyone's excited right now. 6-2 whooping the Wolves. Now, if they're to drop points against Palace, bro, now all the wonderful talent they have, you're going to see how the narrative will switch because they didn't get the strike over the line. So now it's much more fragile than it has been recently. So yeah, man, we're in for it, man. Like we're locked in. Like I said with Chelsea, I think Chelsea, again, because we've had this debate back and forth between like how good Chelsea are, and I think the issue with Chelsea is just like it feels like too many decisions that the club aren't made based on the best for the team. And there's a lot of this kind of like background ambition to buy young and flip later. And I feel like sometimes that's like more important than actually Chelsea starting 11. Because if you get Chelsea starting 11 right, and then you want to still do this buy young players from random countries and then flip them later, cool. No one's going to care about your business model, the stock market that you have going on behind the scenes. But when the actual starting 11 isn't complete and you don't have every piece that you need, then I think it's a big issue, man. Because with how much money Chelsea have spent, bro, for Chelsea's defense to still be as leaky as it is, for Chelsea's midfield to still not be, to us not to be sure about exactly who's going to start in that midfield, for Chelsea's attack now to still be reliant on Jackson. And I think Jackson's actually a decent footballer. But when you spend over, when you spend over $1 billion, you think that bro, like you think you have a guaranteed bagsman up there, but no.
Jackson's got ability. Like Jackson's got ability. I think, but the problem is that where Jackson struggles is his finishing. He's not a deadly finisher. Like, I think it's just baffling as to why Chelsea didn't look at the market and say, you know what, let's try and get a striker who we know can score us goals. Yeah, like why don't we just prioritize that? Right. So
Romoy Reed, lads, big up to Romoy Reed for the comments. And Cole Palmer post 9. I might have to invest in some stocks. Hey, bro. I don't know how all the stocks are gonna do, but hey, invest, brother. Invest, brother. Like, and
And he's,
Moy Reed
and
also
he's,
said, yeah, if I'm Osimhen's agent, I'm firing my. If I'm Osimhen, I'm firing my agent. Didn't get the Chelsea move and lost that on 100 M's tax free. Lord have mercy on my soul. It's true, you know, because he's actually he's staying in Napoli business. He's not even going to get the Saudi move either. So, boy, and I think I don't know if Tony has the Tony move been confirmed. Because I don't know if that's happened while we're live. It's in the comments.
Saudi, yeah, it looks. Last time I checked, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I guess their deadline isn't today. Actually, is it? I don't know when the Saudi deadline is. Whether they have to confirm that today too. So yeah, that's one to keep an eye on.
It looks like he was gonna go there. So
yeah. I think it's done. So yeah.
Which for him, I think yeah. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Like just him moving going to Saudi. Yeah,
Tony move is confirmed. Richard gave the here we go. I'm not shocked by it, man. I think once it looked like, Arsenal weren't trying to go in for him. It looks like, Chelsea tried to come in last second, but clearly the intention wasn't there from early in the window. So I think his options were very, very limited. And clearly Saudi have thrown a stupid bag at him. So yeah, I'm not shocked at Tony going, man. I think his options were limited. And yeah, Saudi are throwing ridiculous money at these man. So yeah, man, go set your great grandchildren up alive. I don't blame it. I don't blame him, man. So yeah, and he's not late 20s. Was he at 29 now or something? How old is Tony? So he's definitely getting up there now too. So yeah, man. I'm not shocked by the Tony move. I'm not shocked by the Tony move. Don't know. Yeah, bro. But yeah, I think that's like the kind of main transfer.
Tony's 28.
28, yeah. But isn't he? I think he's 29 soon though. When is
I think he's 29. I just looked at 29 in March. It's on 29 next year.
I call 20. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, 28. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not too shocked by it. But yeah, bro. I guess
I was just very quickly gonna say, yeah, man. Just if I just want to just make a public service announcement that Palmer, I know you're a United fan when you're growing up, and I know that obviously you've gone to Chelsea, you've shown what you can do, quality player, but just let us know when you're trying to come home. Do you get me? Because that's what I'm trying to see.
You lot are shameless.
That's what I'm trying to see.
10 years later, you guys are still doing well, man. United.
That's what
Manchester United.
That's what I'm trying to see,
you're doing right now, bro.
Hey, man.
That's what you're doing right now, bro. You can fix your problems first. You start looking at.
You get me? Yeah.
But
when you're a great club, you're a great club.
Whatever, bro. You got a long way up that hill. I'll tell you that.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, I hope you guys. Actually, I don't hope you guys. Let me not even say that. But you guys, you've been climbing up that hill for a long time.
Hey, man. Yeah, but you know what, bro? We accept it. We're not here talking about Palmer. We're starting the bottom of the hill, bro. We accept it, bro.
Do you say Arsenal fans accept what? Arsenal fans accept.
I can't speak for Arsenal.
Hey,
I can't speak for Arsenal.
Don't lie on stream, bro.
Hey, man. I can't speak
Don't lie on stream, bro. Hey.
But me, I can say that, yeah, man. I'm humble. And I know that we're making our way back up.
Yeah, you're humble. You're humble where you want to be.
Yeah, bro. I'm humble today, bro. Don't let Sterling back the season, though. Hey, we'll keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, bro. I guess that was the transfer talk again in the chat. Please let us know if anything comes through, any confirmed deals that we should talk about. We're here to talk about it. But I guess kind of wrapping up the transfer talk, leading into the Premier League preview for like this weekend's games, bro. Obviously, United, Liverpool got Chiesa over the line, which is an interesting deal. I saw earlier that you guys got your Ugarte. Here we go, finally on deadline day. So that's come, but it looks like he's not gonna. I don't know if Chiesa is gonna be eligible to play at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
But I know with Ugarte, they're saying
he's not playing. So I thought that's like a good way. I guess maybe that your kind of initial thoughts on the Ugarte and maybe Chiesa move, and then we kind of slide into the weekend preview. Again, the biggest game this weekend. Talk about it. But yeah, what's your thoughts on those initial signings for?
Well, yeah, I think it's obvious to everyone. It's obvious to United fans. It's obvious to non-United fans. It's obvious to people who love us. It's obvious to people who hate us. United needed to get a midfielder in. And we needed someone like who can just tighten up those holes in the park that were so much on display last season. And I think with Ugarte, you've got someone who, you know, he takes pride in defending. Like, he's not necessarily someone who always wants to try and crash the box. Do you get me? Where, you know, we saw that with McTominay. Like, do you get me? Where we tried to deploy him deeper. Clearly, he's someone where his best assets are actually in the penalty box, trying to get onto the end of things, getting goals. And even with Casemiro, we're seeing that, you know, some of his traits, do you get me? Some of his better traits is actually, you know, him getting into the box. And he's someone that also likes to go forward from time to time. And I think with Ugarte, we've got someone who, like, yeah, he seems to take a lot of pride in, like, you know, trying to be a master of that position. Like, and he seems to take a lot of pride in, you know, being dedicated to, you know, break up attacks and, you know, like staying behind whilst allowing, you know, other players to go forward. So I think, yeah, it's someone that type of, we definitely needed, do you get me, as a midfielder to come in. And I think that type of midfielder, I think it can be beneficial for United. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion amongst United fans as regards to the type of midfielder we wanted. You know, some people wanted more of a controller, like, you know, someone who can, you know, who's got a higher or a wider range of passing rather, and someone who can like dictate the tempo of a game. And, you know, other people are saying, you know what, we need more of a destroyer, someone who can, you know, break up attacks, someone who can keep the ball ticking, someone who can allow, you know, our more attacking players to play. And I think obviously there's been so much discussion regarding what's Ten Hag's style of play, how are United going to play this season, and you've now got a midfielder like who, again, who's quite dedicated in trying to break up the game, trying to, you know, win the ball back, trying to get the tackles in, and you're now gonna have to show us what it is that you're trying to do. Like, do you get me? You've made the signings with Euro, Delete, obviously Ugarte's there, got Xerxes, like, do you get me? And then obviously all the other signings that he's made during his tenure, like, you now need to show us what it is that you're trying to do. And I think Ugarte, yeah, he's someone that definitely will help us. Like, I think he's someone that, you know, we did need someone there, just definitely, like, regardless. So yeah, like, I think I was happy that we got in because, you know, regardless as to whether, you know what, you thought there was better profiles that could have came into the United midfield, we needed to sign someone in that midfield position regardless. And obviously age profile wise, he's not old. Like, we hope that he can get better. Like, you know, there's been a lot of talk as regards to United and us signing players who are kind of quote unquote over the edge, or, you know, they're in their 30s, or, you know, like they're past their prime. And yeah, Ugarte is someone who, you know, he's still young, he's still getting better. So yeah, we needed someone in that midfield. We're hoping that he can help knit things together. We're hoping that it can allow players like Kobe to, you know, move forward and, you know, display his capabilities in the like, higher up the pitch. And you know how much I love Kobe Manu, do you get me? And you know how I've spoken about him, and you know how much potential I think he's got. And I think, yeah, hopefully someone like Ugarte will allow him to advance further up the pitch, and it will allow him to show like the skill that he's got as a midfielder. And yeah, because he's someone, like I've said it many times. I told you, bro, before we started streaming, I've said it. I think on the stream, Kobe's not 6. He's not. Do you get me? And I think he's been deployed there. And yeah, he's someone that we want to see, you know, showing what he's capable of further up the pitch. And hopefully someone like Ugarte can allow us to do that. And hopefully our midfield looks like less open, and we're able to have, you know, a better structure when we are trying to take the initiative in football matches. So yeah, overall, yeah, I was happy that we were able to get the signing over the line. We definitely needed to add another midfielder, another 6. And yeah, like, hopefully he goes on to have a long, great United career. And yeah, Like, I do wish that he was available for the Liverpool game, even if he
that's a
wasn't
big mess up.
necessarily going to start. Yeah, even if he wasn't necessarily going to start,
Yeah.
but I do wish he was available. But yeah, it's unfortunate that he's not. But yeah, hopefully he can have a big impact on our season in a positive way. I know the rival fans are hoping that.
Oh yeah, no, I hope, yeah. I don't even have to say
I
what I
know.
hope. You
I
already
know
know.
what you're
Yeah,
hoping,
you already
bro. I
know.
know what you're hoping, bro.
But
So
I
yeah.
guess
So,
interesting.
yeah.
I don't know where I don't know if you've seen this discussion or where you kind of stand on the whole maybe your midfield that you might actually have to go with for maybe most or quite a few games this season would be maybe a Casemiro and Ugarte midfield. I don't know what your thought on that is.
So obviously, Ten Hag has been playing Bruno in the false nine, and I think some of the discussion is that especially in the bigger matches, how he might line up is Ugarte, Casemiro, and Mainu, and then you have Bruno in that false nine position. And I think like if he does choose to do that, then again he's got to figure this out because I think just generally, it's quite clear that we want to see United having a greater control over football matches. Of course, you don't, but us as United fans, that's what we want to see, and we want
I
us
have a
to
question
see.
on that actually.
Yeah, and we want us to see us like not operate in just phases of football matches where we have a good 10 minutes, a good 15 minutes there. And Ten Hag's got to figure out what the right combination in midfield is that will allow us to do that, but also, bro, that will allow our attacking players to also thrive. Because I think sometimes where Ten Hag has struggled is that he tries to shore things up in midfield. So he tries to put extra bodies there so we can have, more control and we can be less open. But attacking wise, we're blunt. We're blunt. We're not dynamic and we're not creating mass amount of chances. Like things are very stale. And I think he's got to try and find the balance of having a sure midfield where we're able to control football matches, but that also doesn't jeopardize and compromise us when we're attacking. And that's what he's got to figure out. So the talk of having Agate and Casemiro, like he might be looking at it and thinking, you know what, I want to have greater control over football matches. Maybe I want to push Manu further forward, etc. Whatever it is that his thinking, he needs to just make sure he finds a way of shoring up the midfield without completely compromising our attack. Because I feel like he's done that like plenty of times. And it's all right, making some changes when you're playing a big one-off final against City and you're saying, you know what, this is how we're going to set up, or you've got a away tie in Europe. But generally speaking, over the course of the season, we want to see us have like a style of play. We want to see us control football matches, and he's got to figure out how we're going to do that, and also we can still be dynamic in our attack. And that's his solution. I mean, that's his problem to find a solution for.
Okay. No, I think that's definitely fair, which I guess is kind of a good way to kind of slide into, I guess, discussing this United Liverpool game that's happening this weekend. And kind of my initial kind of, I guess, kind of two-pronged kind of question for you, bro. Is I guess firstly is like, how are you actually feeling about this game in terms of you guys? Do you think you have enough to get over the line? And kind of my main question, bro, was, would you take, if I offered you right now and said take a point and you play Ten Hag's football, what Ten Hag wants to play, or I guess the image of the team that he's been building for the last 3 seasons, or I say you take a win, but it's a smash and grab win, what are you taking right now? And I guess kind of give me your thoughts, I guess, about this United Liverpool game this weekend.
Okay, cool. Before that, and I just wanted to quickly mention, obviously, we didn't speak about obviously the Liverpool signing.
Oh yeah, cheers,
With Chiesa. And I think obviously, just very quickly, he was someone with which I think, a lot of clubs were interested a couple of seasons ago. And like he was someone who had, who looked like he was doing, a lot of great stuff. And he looked like someone who was already looking like a very good player and someone that potentially could get even better. And then obviously, I think injuries and then falling out of favor with Juve, the things he's not necessarily been able to reach the heights that maybe he would have hoped. But I think for the fee, man, I think I look at it and I'm just like, I think that's a good signing. Like, why not? Like, I think for Liverpool, I think again, it adds depth and you're looking at someone who does have a lot of quality, and yeah, injuries have, you know, kind of maybe messed up his progression a little bit. But yeah, I think it's definitely a player who, yeah, you would be willing to take a risk for that price. So yeah, I think for Liverpool, I think that's a good signing. Going on to the United Liverpool game, obviously this is the big one, man. Like, do you get me? This is the big one. Like, as a United fan, like, yeah, you know what this game means to us. Like, it's Liverpool, obviously the two most successful clubs in England. Do you get me? And yeah, man, like, I see you smiling there, bro. You know, do you get me? Arsenal are third. Do you get me? You're third. Do you
Yeah,
get me? You're third.
I'll get that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so good.
you know.
It's so
Hey,
good.
man, you know, no Champions Leagues. It's all right, man.
Oh,
But
it's all right, bro.
but yeah,
Get
it's
them
all
more
right,
love.
bro.
Get
Yeah,
them,
it's all right,
bro.
bro.
Get
It's
them
all right,
love,
bro.
bro. It's all right,
Bro,
bro.
it's all right,
Bro,
bro.
we
It's
back
all
on
right, bro.
Sunday. It's so good,
Bro,
bro.
it's all right, bro. Bro, I'm just, you know, bro. I think, you know, when we wanted to do this, we wanted to make sure that we were, you know, obviously having like good, intelligent football discussion. And I think as a part of that, it's my duty to relay the facts. Do you
No,
get me?
that's
So that's
fine,
all I
bro.
was doing.
No,
Do you
no,
get
no,
me?
no.
That's all I was doing.
Please,
That's all I was
please,
doing. I was
please
just
do.
stating the facts.
Please do. Don't
That's
worry,
it.
bro. I'll
Do
get
you
the
get
facts
me?
ready. Don't
So,
worry.
you know, do you get
Yeah.
me? So, yeah. But obviously, yeah, United, Liverpool, obviously the rivalry, like, we know what this game means. Like, it's a big one. And it's funny because I remember last season, and for all the pain that United put me through during that season, I remember that 4-3 quarter-final win at Old Trafford against Liverpool. And I remember that Ahmad goal, like, yeah, in the last seconds. And like, that was such a highlight. Like, it was like that feeling of being able to knock Liverpool out in that manner. And yeah, like seeing, you know, Old Trafford erupt. And yeah, man. And obviously we went on to win the FA Cup. We beat City in the final. And yeah, these games, they just mean more. Like, they mean more. And I think obviously, yeah, a few seasons ago, we remember what happened with the 7-0. And yeah, it's one of, yeah, we don't even need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that. And I think last season, obviously, like, United knew that, you know what, like, we can't allow Liverpool to violate like that again.
Did you?
And obviously, what?
I said, did you know? Because even I guess touch on those games last season, we continue, bro. I don't know how you guys got away with not getting smacked in those games against Liverpool, bro. Because there was so many periods of the games where Liverpool should have scored so many chances, and they didn't. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know whether you did learn from the 7-0, because like, I don't think that was in your hands.
Bro, there was three. At some point, you have to say, bro, like, if you play a team 3 times, bro, you play a team 3 times, bro. It was 3 times. We played them in the FA Cup 4-3. We played that at Anfield 0-0. And again, that's where we lost 7-0, and everyone was criticizing United, saying they parked the bus. Do you get me? They parked the bus. They were just defensive. They didn't come to win. So clearly, and you know what? In all seriousness, I do agree with you. I think in the FA Cup game, and I do think at Old Trafford,
I think the game that Old Trafford, I think the actual game was more.
Yeah, they had chances to, you know, like, they could have, you know, went away, and yeah, the discussion could have been completely different. But yeah, in that Anfield game, I think clearly Ten Hag saw it and said, you know what happened last season, that can't happen again. So that's why he literally set up and said, you know what, like, we're playing defensive, we're gonna be tight, and yeah, we can't allow for us to just capitulate. And then yeah, the FA Cup game, that was much more of a back and forth. Liverpool definitely did have their chances, and yeah, you know, it could have gone a different way. And then there was the 2-2 at Old Trafford as well, where, you know, Liverpool were 1-0 up, things were looking good for them, and then that's when Bruno scored. Yeah, do you get me? Great goal. And then obviously Kobe, do you get me?
No. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you guys pulled us. Yeah, I remember that. See, like, those games, like, because we needed you guys to take points off Liverpool, and I was shocked you did.
Yeah, and I think, you know what it is. That's the thing with these type of games where it's just like, yeah, you know, like, again, I think you can't, and it is cliche, and it is you know what, like, do you get me? You're using a lot of buzzwords and etc. But those games mean more. Like, they mean more. Like, do you get me? They completely mean more. So yeah, I think obviously United are going into this we're going off the back of the loss. We saw what happened with Brighton, and I think, yeah, we read. Oh yes, Wendy, it's true. It's true. It's true. They were, after that 7-0, you see how they were talking about us. Oh my gosh, bro. They were
Yeah, they
talking
didn't rate you
about
at all,
us.
man.
The way they were talking, that's why I say, like, that 4-3 when we knocked them out, especially, when they were talking all this quadruple Klopp farewell,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one, that one, yeah, this. Said, yeah, you know what, Klopp? I respect you as a manager, great manager. Yeah, man. Hold that Carabao and yeah, leave. That's what I'm saying. Do you get me? You see this whole Prem thing, buyout on the highest. Do you get me? What you try to pull a Fergie. Do you get me? You want to lift the Prem and then leave? Nah, we're not doing that. Hold that one Carabao. Do you get me? You can go, man. So yeah, man. I was happy that we were able to deny them that FA Cup win. But yeah, going back to the game, yeah, I think Liverpool they look actually quite good on the slot. I think we've spoken about Liverpool previously. I think there's actually not been that much upheaval as regards to like how they're playing, and it looks like Salah, Trent, Van Dijk, look, they've all come into the season, and yeah, they're ready. Look, they're ready. And Salah, this guy, he likes playing against us, man.
Hey,
Like,
man.
so
Yeah, and
yeah, Salah
you guys are
likes
gonna
playing.
have
Oh,
Dallo out there as well in that left back
oof,
position as well. So yeah,
Salah likes playing against us.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like he likes to score a goal against United. So obviously, yeah, like it's gonna be a tough game. But yeah, like I am not going into it thinking, oh, you know what, we're definitely gonna get beat. I'm not going into it. Like I think you're probably much more optimistic for Liverpool's hopes against us. Do you get me? Yeah, optimistic for Liverpool's hopes. Like, do you get me? I know what you're wishing for. Do you get me? But me, like, I think Liverpool, yeah, they've come in. They've started the season. Obviously, we spoke about that first half in Ipswich, where it was like, it took them a while to get going. Second half, they turned it on, and then yeah, like, do you get me? 2 wins out of 2. Salah, 2 goals in 2 games. They're
Sorry, bro.
looking.
This made me laugh. Husband
Yeah,
almost said, "Shout out."
let's talk about it.
So
Osman,
let's not
let's
forget
no, I'll
Liverpool
read it out, bro.
announced.
No, let me
Oh,
read it out. Osman, I'll read it out. As a United fan, I'll read it out, bro. Let's not forget Liverpool announced they were making a documentary of their 23-24 season. After that FA Cup loss, there's been no news about it. Oh, where did it go? Bro, I was waiting for it. I told you. They thought Klopp was going to do a Fergie, bro. They thought he was going to do a Fergie, bro. Not
oh,
everyone's built
mate.
like that. Not everyone's built like that. Do you get
Hey,
me?
man, Liverpool
Not everyone's
fans,
built like that.
Liverpool this
Hey,
weekend. Don't
man.
worry, man.
Not
Get them
everyone's
back.
built like that. Do you get me? You say we'll get them back.
No, I said they can get them back, bro. Come
They
on,
can get
bro.
them back. But yeah, obviously, yeah, no, in all seriousness, yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult game. Like you said last season, yeah, they did have their chances at Old Trafford, and United, I think tactically we're going to have to get it spot on. But yeah, I am not going into it super pessimistic. I think after the Brighton loss, I think United do need to respond, and yeah, I think they know what this game means, and I think being at home as well, like the crowds, like, do you get me? Like, it's gonna be buzzing. Like, do you get me? Like, the environment's gonna be great, and I think, yeah, man, like, the players know that they need to perform. So yeah, I think if we do losing 2 out of the first 3 back-to-back losses with Brighton,
Well,
Liverpool,
before international break,
going into the international break, that is United can't do that. Like, do you
I
get me?
need
Look
it.
at you.
I need
Look
it.
at you.
I need
Look
it.
at me.
The
Leave,
negativity.
man.
Oh my god, I'll be feeding off that negativity for those 2 weeks,
Nah,
bro.
man.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think it will
man.
fester.
Like,
Oh my.
we can't let that happen. So
Oh, and then what?
yeah.
And Sancho comes in and bags. What, is he eligible tomorrow? Oh, man, I know that guy's not playing.
But
But
yeah. So with that, yeah, like I'm like, I'm going into the game thinking, yeah, come on, United, man. Like, do you get me? Do you get me? It's the game. Like, it's Liverpool. It's at Old Trafford. Like, and I remember a couple seasons back where, yeah, United started really bad. I think it was the Brighton loss, and then it was the 4-0 loss to Brentford. if you remember. And
Yeah, I
then
remember that. I can't forget that.
we'll face Liverpool, and everyone was saying, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. And we won 2-1 at Old Trafford. And Sancho actually scored a very good goal.
Oh yeah, he did. That's
goal in
when
that match.
I remember. I
Sancho,
think Van Dijk tried to defend with his aura.
yeah,
I remember.
do you get me? Really nice finish. So so I feel like United are capable of like rising when everyone's doubting us. And yeah, man, like obviously as a United fan, someone who supported this team all my life, like the players know, or they should know what this game means. And yeah, man, like I'm going into it like I'm not going into it arrogant, thinking, yeah, we're gonna win like easily or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not deluded. Obviously, we have our banter, our jokes, but obviously, when it comes to analyzing football, we're gonna do so properly. But yeah, like I'm going into it thinking, you know what, like a lot of the people who are just writing us off, like I think that like they are kind of underestimating just like forget about United in the context of the season, but I think they're underestimating like like how teams can turn up for games like this. Like and I think like we've seen it often. So and then with I think the other question was, would I take us? I'm gonna phrase it. Correct me if I was wrong, bro. Would I take us winning, but it's kind of like a smash and grab? We're not playing great football, or would I take us? Was it taking a point?
Yeah,
but it's great football, etc.
Well, not even great football. I guess it's Ten Hag football. I guess that's I think probably the big kind of thing we're looking at for this season is that what is your football? I think all of us are trying to figure out what is your football. So I'm saying, would you take a point playing? There's more clarity on what Ten Hag's football is, or a smash and grab where it's more like how maybe you guys would have played them under like an Ollie, where very defensive. Liverpool have much more of the ball, and then you guys hit them on the counter, you get the win. Which one are you taking between those two right now?
Obviously, if Ten Hag's style of play means that we are gonna go through the season and we are gonna be controlling games and we're gonna be progressive, and for like the long run, it's gonna be more beneficial for United, then I can understand in the thinking of saying, you know what, taking a point. If Ten Hag's style of play isn't going to be that, do you get me? And the United fans still aren't happy with it, then of course it's just like, what's the point in that? Like, do you get me? Like, you might as well get the 3 points if there's nothing sustainable about your approach. I think if Ten Hag, sorry to interrupt, bro. If also, because I think we also have to contextualize things that it is early in the season. So, like, because it is so early in the season, if Ten Hag sets up to just say, you know what, like we're gonna try get the win, do you get me? And then over the course of the season, we see the progression that we want to see. Then like, do you get me? I think a lot of United fans will be happy with it. But if it's a thing where he sets up to get a result, kind of similar, like for example, with the FA Cup final, United set up in a specific way. The plan was effective. Like, do you get me? We're able to perform on the day, and we're able to win the FA Cup. United fans were delighted. Do you get me? Like, and I think that's the thing about management. Sometimes we saw what Arteta did when he went to the Etihad and how he set up Arsenal for that one-off game. So sometimes for specific games, you're going to set up differently, and you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to do what I need to do to get the 3 points. So I think I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But if that is just you do that and then afterwards there's still no sign of progression, then it's kind of just like, okay, so clearly you still don't have a style of play. You are not really moving forward. So it's kind of one of them ones where, like, of course, going into Liverpool, we always want the 3 points. Like, do you get me? Like, we want to win. And I think in this early stage of the season, of course, I want the 3 points. I want to win. Like, do you get me? Like, if United were to win, and let's say we did hit Liverpool on the counter attack and we won, I'm not going to be sad saying, oh man, we won, but it was the counter attacks. Like, do you get me? But where I think United fans will have a problem is if we do that and then throughout the season, we look at us and we're just like, you know what? Like, we are playing bad football, we're relying on, do you get me, just hitting opponents on the break, then I feel like, yeah, that's where we're going to have a problem. But in many cases, I feel like in a match like this isn't where you're necessarily going to be judging Ten Hag's style of football. I think where you're going to be more so judging his style of football is when you're at home to the lower teams in the league. And you're expecting to dominate, you're expecting to break teams down, you're expecting to be dynamic in your attacks, etc. Do you get me? I feel like it's a consistency thing, it's not a one-off thing. Like United can play great football against Liverpool, get the win, and then it's not sustainable for the rest of the season. Maybe you played great football against Liverpool because they were more open and they came to Old Trafford confident and they left more spaces and were able to take advantage of that. So I feel like, yeah, going into this game, I feel like, to answer your question, I think is one of the ones where, of course, yeah, we want the 3 points. Like, I think we can't necessarily base like what our performance is in this game and use that as, we can't use our performance in this game as kind of like a what's the word? Kind of like a yardstick. Yeah, a yardstick, a barometer for how we're going to play for the rest of the season. But of course, ideally, we want to see us play good football. We want to see a style of play, and we want to get the 3 points. But ultimately, yeah, I think it's going to be the games where, do you get me, we're against the lower teams and we're at Old Trafford, and we're expected to dominate and we're expected to be dynamic and we're expected to like come up with ideas and control a match. I think that's where our style of football is going to be more so questioned. Like, do you get me? So yeah.
All right,
like,
no, that's fair. Again, I guess if you're watching it, let us know too if you're a United fan what you think in the comments, because I'm actually quite surprised. I kind of feel like again, I can't speak for you or how you book. I guess you have the rivalry local. That's personal to you. But I would have thought at this stage now, where even if it was like, if you guys were to like play well and even, let's say, narrowly 2-1 lost to Liverpool, I feel like that would be more encouraging right now than you play how you've been playing under Ten Hag and then you hit them on a break and you get a 1-0. I don't think you learn anything that way either. Where it's like, let's say, one second, but let's say like De Ligt comes in, Xerxes comes in. I feel like when you bring in these players, I would now expect Ten Hag to play with how he intends to play this season. And then I think you can actually learn more than this one-off game where you get the result, but then what did you actually learn? So I was interested. That's why I asked the question, because I'm curious to see which way you lean. But
I think overall, as regards to the overall point of us prioritizing a style of football over results, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that I think if United were to, play great against Liverpool, and, do you get me, even win, draw, lose, I think what we want to see is consistency. And a lot of the times where we're gonna really be looking at Ten Hag style of football is against, for, like I was saying, the lower teams in the table. Like, do you get me? When
but why though? Like, do you feel like the bar has been dropped too low for that to be that's when you're gonna judge Ten Hag's football, when you play the lower teams? Why not?
Okay, for example, it's like looking at Arsenal and judging Arsenal's style of football on that Etihad away performance. Looking at that style of football and saying,
I think that's different though. I feel like that's different. I feel like that's different because like that was Arsenal play a certain way 9 times out of 10, and then they play City at Etihad and they play in a different way. Whereas you haven't shown, the Ten Hag hasn't shown us his style of football at all yet.
No, but that's exactly what I'm saying though. It's for the rest of the season for us to show that. So if United counted in this match, but the rest of the season we displayed a certain style of football, then I don't think many people are going to be looking at this match thinking, do you get me? If he plays a certain way in this match, gets the result, and that style of play, which maybe a lot of United fans aren't impressed with, that continues for the rest of the season, then we're going to look at it and say, you know what? We're not feeling this. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think taking that specific game in isolation, I think is much more to do with the wider context of the season. So it's when you're talking about style of play, when you're talking about like how you are controlling football matches, like it doesn't all rest on, for example, this Liverpool game, which is the 3rd game of the season. Like, I think we're looking at the whole season in its entirety and we're expecting us to grow into it. We're expecting us to improve. Like, I think as United fans, of course, we can be quite critical on our own club. But also, I don't think any of us were necessarily expecting everything to just fit together straight away. Like, we were expecting a few games into the season for everything to just, seamlessly fit together. I think obviously we want to see potential, and ideally we want to see us come into this game with an idea of what we're doing. Like, don't get me wrong, like, if United were to win but we were to play horribly, we obviously, I'll be delighted with the result. But then when we're reviewing the game, I am going to talk about how I'm not happy with this, how we were setting up here, etc. Do you get me? And it's then down to Ten Hag throughout the course of the season to prove to us as fans whether, you know what, that was just an isolated performance where he was trying to get a result, or that's just how you play. Do you get me? And I think a lot of United fans are convinced, because of what we've seen, that this is just how we play. So, do you get me? He's now got, like, if this game, for example, if this game was much later in, like, do you get me? If this game was much later on and we'd seen 14, 15 games of us playing horribly, do you get me? Then I feel like you're going into it and you're like, you get the win and you're happy, but then overall, like, after the initial buzz of happiness goes, you're just like, oh man, we won, but we're really bad.
Post-win clarity.
Do you get me? Post-win clarity. We won, but we're really bad. But I think at this stage of the season, it's kind of one of them ones where the Liverpool game has come early. Obviously, we're going to face them at Anfield as well. But it's more so a thing of like, you know what? We have got so many games to go over the course of the season. We want to see what this is about. And when I say over the course of the season, I'm not even talking, I don't mean like, match week 38, match day 38. Do you get me? Like, because I think if Ten Hag isn't doing what he needs to do, both results-wise and performance-wise before that, then he might not be in the job. Do you get me? So we want to be seeing it quite soon. But also, I feel like, if he was to get a result, I think everything as regards to our style of play is not resting on this performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, again, that's your opinion. So I get where you're coming from. So that's one to talk about. I guess to kind of conclude this section a bit, and maybe I'll kind of talk in Liverpool a bit. I guess we haven't got the Liverpool point of view, but I guess initially your take, bro. What's your prediction for this game? And I'll give you my prediction, and we'll talk about it a bit before we move on to the next games for the weekend. So,
I'm going. Hey man, United, please, man. Please, United, please. I'm going 2-1 United.
2-1 United.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1 United.
All right. I have gone. Oh yeah, by the way, people, we're gonna actually keep track of the scores for this weekend, and we'll update everyone on the Sunday episode about what we're gonna do with that. Just let everyone who's tuned in, locked in, let them know what's going on with that. I actually went. I was going back and forth. If you guys hadn't lost Mason Mount, who we've now seen has pulled his hamstring, so won't be playing in this game. We've now seen, obviously, that you guys, Ugarte isn't going to be playing in this game at all. I didn't think he'd start, but I thought you'd at least have him on the bench to come on as the option. I was going for a 2-2, actually, because I think this year, even when I've heard Liverpool fans talk about this match, bro, I don't think even Liverpool fans are even coming to this game with like chest saying that, we're going to win this. Because, again, it's new for them, too, where they'd have Arne Slot. This is their first real test, actually playing a big team away from home. The Gravenberch has the 6. That's definitely a test that needs to be tested. So I mean, this is definitely the kind of game now where we're going to see whether Liverpool not getting that 6 this window, how big of the issue it is. Because it's all nice when you beat Ipswich and you beat Brentford, which are games that you expect Liverpool to win anyway. But now at Old Trafford, even though United, I don't know about United's midfield as well, but I think you have enough in there to definitely challenge them and put pressure on Gravenberch in that midfield to see how he holds up. So I think that's where I think it's a lot tighter than it has been in recent years, where they had Klopp that would come through and you'd say expect Liverpool to be the strong favourites. But you being at home, the way you guys approached the first 2 games with the Mount and I guess Bruno in that false 9 kind of position, the box midfield, you guys looked a lot more solid. I felt like Liverpool were gonna struggle to even kind of break you down in that structure too, with you guys having the home fans behind you. But again, I think you guys not having Mount now, having to start Xerxes, which you haven't seen from the beginning, not having the guards to come off the bench. I'm now.
Do you think he's going to start? Do you think he's going to start Xerxes?
I think he has to. Who's he gonna play instead if he doesn't start Xerxes? Because Mount's not there. Who's gonna? What would you do if he didn't start Xerxes? What would your midfield be without Xerxes, for example? I think he has to start. I think that's why I'm
Say
going.
that again. Sorry, say that again,
I don't
bro.
know if
You broke up. You broke up a little bit.
Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. I think it's linked. But I was saying that I think he has to start Xerxes. Is there anyone else that you can play in your midfield if Xerxes doesn't start? If you educate me, maybe I'm missing something.
Oh, so yeah, because obviously, yeah, we were playing Mount.
Yeah, Mount's gone now.
Yeah, and the thingy. So yeah, Mount's. And you know what is? You actually made a very good point with Mount. Obviously, I think when seeing what Ten Hag's been trying to do this season, it looks like Mount for him has been quite important to the pressing and yeah, like I don't know exactly like how he's gonna now try rectify that with
About
like personnel, not having Mount, like
and
how's he gonna try? How's
and
he gonna
ultimately he needs to rectify it because as nice as it was defensively, you guys weren't also making enough chances of getting goals with that structure anyway. So as good as it might be to like stifle teams, you probably do need another option where so maybe Xerxes is gonna have to come in, and that's why for me,
go
on,
bro.
I guess as a neutral, again, I get your kind of opinion that you just want to win as Liverpool. But I think as a neutral looking at this game, I feel like I also want Ten Hag has been backed this transfer window. That's one thing that we can say where he's got enough players now where it's like, brother, please let us see what you're trying to do. Please stop hiding it from us. Let us see what your style is. That's why I'm more on looking at how you guys approach the game as well. In terms of Mount's not there now. You bought Xerxes, you have Højlund, so you have to. Your plan must surely include
Højlund is a Højlund.
I know. I'm saying in the bigger picture of Mount. Mount and Bruno can't be the plan. Like, that can't be the big plan. It can't be either. So you understand? Like he's been forced into it. Don't get me wrong, but now that you've been forced into it, what does it look like? I think that's what I want to see now with Ten Hag and how you guys set up against Liverpool. Yeah, I think that's what I'm interested in. So
it's very interesting to see like how much like you're weighing on this match as regards to showing what Ten Hag like how he's trying to.
I really want to see it, man.
Because I think a lot of the times with the big matches, like loads, like especially when it's rivalries, like like things can happen. Like, we saw what happened, like again with the FA Cup tie where it became very back and forth. And do you get me? And it's like I think I think that's what I was saying. For me, like in a game where it's like you're playing someone where it's not a quote unquote one of the bigger teams and it's not a rivalry and it's like what. Over these course of games, we're expecting to see a style of play. We're expecting to see you control a football match where some of the factors that come into these type of games won't necessarily be there. Like, do you get me? Like, I think it's like over the course of the season for me, that's why it's like I'm looking at it over the course of the season. It's just like, even if you come and you play great against Liverpool, like let's say you play great Ten Hag ball against Liverpool and you get the win. Like with me, I'm like, okay, that's brilliant. That's wonderful. But what I want to now see is that when, again, you're seeing Crystal Palace come to Old Trafford, like, do you get me? Like, maybe different teams, bottom teams, mid-table teams, when you're seeing Southampton, when you're seeing, do you get me? Like, whoever come to Old Trafford and you are expected to take the initiative and take control of the football match. Like, over the course of those games, that's where I'm like, you know what, over the large sample size, I want to see the style of play. Like, I think so I think it's just I think what we're like, don't get me wrong, I definitely would love to see United play well and I want to see things. Of course, as every game goes on, I'm analyzing United and I'm like, cool, you know what, I want to see us improve. I want to see what we're doing. But I think like how much you're weighing on this game.
Bro,
like with me, I'm looking.
You know why I think I'm being. You know why I think I'm also being extra harsh on this, bro. With Ten Hag in this game specifically, is that Arne Slot has been there for 2 games now, and I know that Liverpool are gonna come and play how Arne Slot wants to play. Understand? Regardless of whether it's gonna work, whether they're gonna get a win, get a draw, lose, they're gonna play how they want to play this. I think it's a bit of a cop out for Ten Hag now. Also, at this stage now, to still be like, there's no expectation on how United play in this game. It's just if you can get a win.
I don't think there's no expectation. Like I think for every, I don't think there's no expectation. I think for most United fans there is an expectation. I think it's just more so like you can come, like I said, you can come and you can play brilliant football. And I think that's going to do wonders for our morale. Obviously, it's against Liverpool. We're going to be looking at it and say, you know what, that was great, etc. But over the larger sample size of the Premier League, if when again those lower half teams are coming to Old Trafford and you don't have that, so it's one of them ones, especially what, so you can get up for Liverpool, you can get up when there's a big rivalry, you can get up when you know the crowd's going to be roaring crazy because you know what's on the line. But when you're expected to control a game, do you get me, against a bottom half team, you're not able to do it. Like, do you get me?
But also,
that's what I think. As in a lot of United fans that we're speaking to, again, we're looking at the course of the season. Like, do you get me? Because I think a lot of the times United, like it's been bits and pieces where it's like, okay, for this game you've done well, for this game you've done well, or rather this portion of the game you've done well. But like we want to see consistency.
And ultimately, bro, like I feel like I'm not even trying to also do like I don't even think I'm asking for too much from Ten Hag in this game. But I think I'm not even saying that the Liverpool game he plays one and the next game he plays back. Like again, the next game we'll before that game too, we'll talk about it. And you expect him to, if you play well against Liverpool, you should play well the next game too. I mean, my thing is just more about, I guess, looking at the manager and saying, cool, this is how you're trying to play football most games. And I think even against Liverpool, I'd want to see the manager at least still play. Ultimately, if you have to completely change your football because of who you're playing as well, then I feel like how good is your actual tactic in general? Where it's one thing is when it's a one-off. And I know you're going to say that, Arsenal, Etihad, that felt more of like a one-off game. Bro. Okay, cool, that's fair. I thought that's probably
No, with me, I don't have a problem. With me, I think as a manager, you setting up in a particular way for one-off games. That's why I said that a lot of Arsenal. Well, I guess some Arsenal fans maybe had a problem with it, but I think a lot of Arsenal fans, they didn't have a problem with it because overall, you know how you play football, and I think that's what I'm saying. With me, it's like over the course of multiple games. So of course, every single game we play, we're into the third Premier League game of the season. So every game we play, we're learning more. And he doesn't have, do you get me, like an unlimited amount of time we need to start seeing things. Like, do you get me, soon? And of course, in this Liverpool game, we want to be seeing things. Like, do you get me? Cool. Of course. But I think, again, my thing was just like, but I'm looking ahead. Like I'm looking at cool, because I feel like United. I can see United. Do you get me? You know, getting up for this game. Like, do you get? Like, you know what it is? Like, I think there's been so many moments post Fergie where we've seen United get up for a big game and put in a performance, and then afterwards, nothing. Like, do you get me? After it, nothing. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like cool. Like, it'll be great to have that win. It'll be great to play brilliantly. But I want to see the games where I'm getting so frustrated is when, again, we're at Old Trafford and you're looking, a team set up with a low block and you're looking, where's the creativity? Where's the control? Do you get me? And you're just open as anything, getting hit on the transition, no control over the match, no style of football. That's where I'm looking at United and I'm like, like, do you get me? Come on, Ten Hag, show us something. Like, do you get me? It's all nice getting up for, you know, the big game against Liverpool, and then what? So when Southampton or when Ipswich comes to Old Trafford, like now you're putting on a stinker. Like, nah, like we need to see consistency. Like, we want to see it over the course of plenty of games. So of course we're gonna analyze this game. And like I said, if United were to win and we played badly, bro, I'm gonna be happy that we won. Then we're gonna come on the stream and I'm gonna analyze and I'm gonna say, whilst I'm very happy with this win, the signs aren't looking great here because we still can't see this, we still can't see that. Like, where are we going? Like, we'll do all of that. Do you get me? But the point I was just making is that, I'm looking at it and saying, you know what? Like, even if it was the opposite and you were to play great and you were to get the result against Liverpool, like, I need to see consistency over a course of plenty of games. Like, that's what I need to see as a United fan. Like, do you get me? If I can see that, then I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going somewhere. So, yeah.
All right, fair. So again, I guess the kind of, I don't know, well, I guess I'll put it back to you, but if you have any kind of rounding kind of thoughts before you move on to the next game, because so I guess you went for a 2-1 narrow United home win, and I've gone for a 2-1 Liverpool win, because I guess to kind of finish my point this year, I still feel like I'm assuming the list is gonna come into this game, see how he does in his first kind of start unless he stays with Maguire. Knowing Ten Hag, I wouldn't also put that completely above him. So yeah, I think defensively too. I think you guys with Salah going against Dalot, the fact that you still don't have a left back with this window closing, I don't know if that's something that we can talk about in future episodes, but that's gonna come back to bite you or whether you needed to kind of get someone because Shaw can't be relied on anymore. So yeah, I think Salah's gonna give Dalot a horrid time, him playing left back. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, overall, I don't think it's like in previous games where I've come into it like, yeah, Liverpool are gonna destroy you guys. I think Liverpool also need to prove that in a game like this with Arne Slot, his style, that they're also still good enough to like come to Old Trafford and get the win. The one thing I'll give them compared to like maybe when Klopp was going, I think this game will be a lot less emotive. Whereas I think previously with Klopp, like one of his like strengths and probably maybe a slight weakness, like he would come in and like a lot of it will be like 100 miles per hour. And maybe if Liverpool don't get the goals during that period, then maybe you're more susceptible to being punished. Whereas with Arne Slot, I trust him more to maybe try control the game and cool it down a bit and say, yeah, we have better players, and depending on how Ten Hag approaches it, they might also play the better football. So I think they might edge it at the end. Is why I think I'm leaning towards a Liverpool win. Again, if you had Mount, you had Ugarte coming on, yeah, I would have gone for maybe a draw in this game. I actually think it will be quite tight. I don't think it'd be.
I was very close to. I was very close for going. I was very close to goal. I can't even speak. I was very close to saying that it will be a draw. But
I think I'm seeing a draw right now. Just until I see Liverpool kind of. I think this game will be. I love the kind of matches. I think it will teach us a lot about both teams. I think Liverpool will learn how much of a issue is it them not getting a 60 season, and with United, it's like how does Ten Hag actually approach it? Understand? With the link coming in, are you guys gonna move the line up a bit more without Maguire? Is Maguire the reason that you guys are playing a bit deeper? What does that look like? That's why I think ultimately I'm really looking at how United approach it. But you're not gonna be confident that you guys are gonna approach it any better than you have been approaching a lot of games on the Ten Hag.
Oh, approaching it. You know what? Again, I think it's like obviously, like you said, you've got Maguire, the Litz there. Like
Xerxes coming.
We don't have obviously. There's no Euro, there's no Ugarte. But yeah, like he's got some of the pieces which he was talking a lot of last season about injuries and didn't have this player, didn't have that player, and like unfortunately. Yeah, there's been some more injuries this season. But I think with Ten Hag, the excuses, and I can speak for like a lot of United fans when I say this, where it's just like, a lot of United fans, patience is running very thin as regards to their excuses. Like I think in this season, like I think, Ten Hag, I think he knows it himself. He needs to perform. And when we say perform, he needs to get the results, because that's the thing about when you're the manager of United, you can't just play well and not pick up results. Like, do you get me? Like, you can play well and not pick up results in like isolated things, but over the course of the season, we need to see results as well. Do you get me? You need to do both. Like, do you get me? You need to be introducing your style of play and you need to be getting results. Like, we need to be seeing both, and it might not all come in at once. Like, it is a process, but over the course of the season, that's what we want to be seeing. And so there's a lot of pressure on Ten Hag for this game. I think like a lot of pressure, and like he's got to make sure that the team puts in a performance.
It'll be an interesting one, and on Sunday we'll talk about what happened. Should be a good game, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. But moving on, conscious of time, bro. I think the other kind of really big game this week. It's always funny. I was thinking about this. Like the last couple of weeks, I feel like we've been talking a lot on like obviously Arsenal and United. Obviously, we're all Arsenal United fans, but we've also been, I think, the bigger kind of games throughout the weekend as well in terms of our oppositions. It just being like tougher matches than maybe the other kind of big 6 games. But so I just thought that was a bit funny. But this one should be another tough game for Arsenal, man. Following the Villa win last week, where we are welcoming Brighton at Emirates. So I guess my kind of initial thoughts, I actually think this might be a game with goals, man. Like watching that Brighton United match as well, I was like, the way Brighton approach it, I'm not confident whether we will definitely be able to keep a clean sheet, but the way they play too, I think they're very susceptible to also if they play a team that has players that are smart enough to time their runs. But that's one thing that we saw in that United Brighton match, where the number of times that you guys were getting caught offside was ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you saw did you see the commentary by Shearer Match of the Day and the whole what did you think about what do you think about Ten Hag's saying that he put the analysis was stupid? I don't know if you saw that. If you saw Ten Hag's response to it.
I think we've seen Ten Hag, man. He gets very defensive. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah, man. Like, I saw the analysis with Shearer, and yeah, Rashford, like, he wasn't timing his runs. I think United as a whole, like, we need to get better when it comes to executing. And yeah, I think he was even making a point of when Ahmad should have played the better pass, Rashford would have been offside anyway. So yeah, man, like. Yeah,
bro. In the goal that he scored, the fact that he was offside twice made me laugh. How are you offside twice in one move? How?
Yeah,
How? So I think we have players that I trust more in those situations. Like Brighton are also coming and playing on the halfway line. That with an Odegaard, with a Partey, whatever you think of him, I think deeper we can catch them out. Like I think Saka, Martinelli, his stocks are very low right now. And I think this is the kind of game that's either gonna drive his price lower or he can start to make a comeback. Because I think in this type of game is where he's preferred to a Trossard, where he's threat on the break is just massive in it. It's just about him just and hopefully he can pull a good game together. Because right now his confidence is in the gutter. And he shares in the gutter as well. Because it's funny too online. And once there's like an agenda on the player, then everyone piles on and everyone has the same opinion. Everyone now also thinks he's the worst player ever. But that's how the internet works, isn't it? Like everyone jumps in when there's a talking point. But yeah, I think Martinelli, I don't think it's over yet for him. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I mean this is a game where he definitely needs to shine. And yeah, Brighton are going to give him opportunities. It's just about him stepping up in this match and punishing them when he gets those breakaways. I guess from Brighton's point of view, like I have to big up. I think a player that destroyed United. I don't know if he's got the shine he deserved to. Is João Pedro, man. That guy's a baller. Like so, yeah, he's a big threat in this game. Adringa is another player I really rate. That I think he's gonna be a big threat. So that's why my score prediction, and I'll get yours, bro, and you'll kind of take on the game. I've actually gone for a 3-1 Arsenal win. Just because, again, I think there'll be goals. And I think the way Brighton play, if they approach us the same way they approach United, I think we'll catch them. But I also think they'll get a goal. Maybe a 3-2 at worst case scenario. But I think there's enough there where I don't see us not winning this game at home. But I think it's going to be difficult. But yeah, what's your take, bro? What are you telling me about this one?
With Martinelli, yeah, I know that you said, you've invested your stocks. You said, when stocks are low, that's when you invest. But what is it about Martinelli where, you're still confident that he'll be able to deliver? Like, what are the reasons?
I think again, it's that whole thing of like he had a poor season last year, but like just a season ago before that, got 15 goals in the Prem, was amazing that year. Him and Saka were flying. I think again, he deserves the criticism that he's getting right now, because I also think as a player, you shouldn't need a left center mid, an overlapping fullback, a striker that you can pop the ball to, for you to perform. I think you shouldn't need all of that either. But I also think it's been overdone of like how bad of a I think people are doing too much as well with the Martin in terms of like the caliber of player that he is. Like I think he's still 22, he's still going to improve. Like I think people are going too early and they're piling in because he's an easy target right now. That we have Havertz was the easy target before that everyone could easily draw for, but now he's playing too well for that. So now people need a new player that they can target, and now it's Martinelli. But I don't think he's as bad as people are highlighting. So that's why I think I'm not done yet. I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet with Martin, just because he's still 22, young player. There's flaws in his game, but I also think the way Arteta plays him also doesn't help him out the best. But in this this is the kind of game where I expect him to shine. So this is the kind of games where if he has a poor performance here too, I'm gonna have to just take it and know that the share is getting even lower for the next week. So that's my kind of thoughts on Martin. What's your take on Martinelli, bro, as a player? As a non-Arsenal fan, what do you think about him? Honestly,
I feel like some Arsenal fans, when he did have that very good season where 15 Prem goals, I think some Arsenal fans ironically, like I think some Arsenal fans went too early.
Okay.
So yeah, so with their what they were making him out to be, I think some Arsenal fans went too early, and I do agree with you. I think some Arsenal fans and just general football fans, I think their criticism of Martinelli, I think some of it has been over the top. Again, yeah, people are going on yeah, he just aimlessly runs all the time, and do you get me? Yeah, he just completely doesn't know what he's doing at all. And yeah, I think to go from the season that he had before last to all of a sudden he's just an awful player, I think that's too much. So I feel he is young, he does have potential, but also I think what some Arsenal fans were trying to make him out to be, and yeah, I think they went too early. They were kind of almost setting him up for this criticism in a way. Not, and when I say this criticism, I'm not talking about the people that are going sillily, super silly over the top. But yeah, for some of the reasonable criticism that he's been having, I think it was going to come with how people were talking about him prior. So yeah, and I think you've seen Saka, for example, and he's been able to be consistent as regards to his numbers, and he's getting better. And yeah, I think Martinelli, I think you saw Saka, you saw Martinelli, and a lot of Arsenal fans got really excited. Look at, do you get me? On the left, on the right, we're sorted. Do you get me? And I think, some of them just went a bit too early. So yeah, I think that's my opinion on Martinelli.
Okay. And then I guess, what's your prediction for this match? How do you see this one going?
Hey man, I hope I'm wrong. I just want to put that out there first. I hope I'm wrong about what I'm about to say. But yeah, I think Arsenal win this, man. I think Arsenal win this. I think Brighton, I do rate them. I rate them as a team. I think they've got some really good players. Obviously, they've got a young manager who has come in and obviously started the season very well. And yeah, we've spoken about Brighton and their recruitment and their ability to just, regardless of managers coming and going, to be able to just consistently put in performances and find gems. Do you get me?
Bro, I have an agenda cooking. I'm just waiting for that Brighton Chelsea match, bro, to drop it. Chelsea have given Brighton 200 million, bro, and this summer they spent that 200 million on this squad. Let Brighton beat Chelsea in that game. We'll talk about it. But go on, bro. I just said that one is cooking in the background. I'm just keeping an eye on who has a better season to see who has invested that money better. But go on, bro. That's why you're talking. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
But yeah, I think whilst I do think that Brighton can cause you some problems, overall, I think Arsenal have got this, man. I think Saliba, man, he's Did you get me? Me, I don't like you lot, but do you get me? I have to make sure that my integrity is is intact, and man, what a player. What a player, man. What a player. Do you get me? Brilliant player. I think, again, his partnership with Gabriel, brilliant. I think the Arsenal defense, brilliant. I think Raya, he's coming into his own. And then, man, I think you've got, Saka, who, again, he's becoming, you just know, he's becoming, one of them players where it's just you know what to expect from him. You know that, again, he's found things which are becoming cash money, cutting in, putting in the cross. Do you get me? Where someone could get to the end of, and then cutting in, taking the shot. Do you get me? I think he's finishing. I think even last season we saw him taking it onto his right foot and then having a fierce finish as well. Do you get me? So even the variety in his game is widening, and man, I think Arsenal have got this. So yeah, I'm going for a 2-0 Arsenal win.
2-0 Arsenal win. Okay. So that's surprising. So you actually see us keeping the clean sheet.
Yeah. I think also with that game against Villa, I think with some of the chances Villa had, I think Arsenal, like you see Saliba, you see Gabriel, they take a lot of pride in their defending. So I think they're gonna really try and make sure that those mistakes aren't being made again. So
Yeah.
like
You know, I'm
I think Brighton are definitely capable of scoring. By the way, like it's not something that
yeah.
would surprise me like at all. Like it wouldn't surprise me. Like again, like they've got a lot of quality. But yeah, like, I've gone for the clean sheet.
All right. No, I think it's a shout. And yeah, I'm actually very curious about too to see who Arteta starts left back. It made complete sense, obviously, that Zinchenko was going to get dropped for the Villa away game. But I'm curious that when we're playing the team like Brighton at home, does he still drop him in that kind of game as well? I think that's going to be the interesting one to see whether, like, he trusts him at all in these. Because it might be a thing where if it's a top 10 team, home or away, it's not going to be Zinchenko left back this season. So I think that's one to keep an eye on. But yeah, no, should be a good game. This is going to be another big game this weekend, 12:30 kickoff. So yeah, should be interesting. Moving on to the next very big game this weekend, but I'll get your thought on this one, bro. Then if you can see that, we're going to move on to Newcastle versus Tottenham. I think this is going to be another very interesting game because the last two times Tottenham have gone to St. Mary's, it's not been pretty. So I don't know. Yeah, St. James's Park. St. James's Park. It's not been pretty at all, man. So yeah, bro. Talk to me. What do you think about this one? Do you think Tottenham can get revenge this season? Because Newcastle haven't started off this season well at all.
Yeah, obviously, results-wise, obviously they've got the 4 points, but yeah, like I think performance-wise, I think you're looking at Newcastle and there's worries there, man. Like I think you're literally looking at Newcastle and you're thinking Isak and Gordon do something. Like, do you get me? Yeah, you're looking at
it. But to be fair though, Tonali's back now as well.
Yeah, no, I was about to say obviously him coming back into the midfield, like that's definitely going to help. That's essentially going to be a new signing for them. But particularly in those attacking positions, like you're looking at it and you're thinking Isak or Gordon.
Bro, did you see earlier that they're trying to get Elanga?
Fam, what? 35 M's.
Yeah, crazy.
35 M's. That's fam. And I was informed that we have a sell-on clause. So
you have a sell-on clause?
I was thinking, hey, Elanga. Hey man, but yeah, with this game, I think this is going to be a good game, man. Like, it's going to be a good game. Like, these are the type of games as a neutral. Well, I'm a neutral, like, you're not a neutral when Tottenham are playing, but I'm a neutral, and like these are the type of games where, like, you like to just sit back and watch and say, "Ooh, okay." Like I think, like you said, Newcastle, they have got 4 points out of 6. But obviously, the first game they had the sending off, and then do you get me? They were able to get the goal, and then like Southampton weren't able to capitalize. And then with Bournemouth, Newcastle got lucky. Like they got lucky. Like especially with that decision. Like to disallow the goal. So like Newcastle, like I think points wise. Again, it's not necessarily a bad start to the season, but performance-wise, I think they'll be expecting more. And I do think that they're going to step it up. And I think it's going to be an entertaining game. Like I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I can see it being quite open. Like like I can see goals in the game. So
100. But there's definitely going to be goals in this match. Yeah, there's definitely going to be goals in this game, man. Yeah, I feel like. I think from the Tottenham point of view, I guess what the Tottenham fans will want to see is just, Ange learning as well, going away to Newcastle, and it not be like last year where Newcastle literally parked the bus and just hit when it was just Van der Ven versus Isak 1v1 races, bro, all game. So I think you just want to see some growth in that department where they're not as open, but I think they're gonna give Newcastle a lot of issues this year, man. I think Newcastle will probably. We'll update our predictions obviously in a week or two when we get to that stream. But man, I think their transfer business. I don't know if you saw that they've been getting onto the owners and the what's it called? I think that Ashworth, whatever his name is, him leaving. They're not happy about that right now because the transfer dealings this window has been shocking, absolutely shocking, bro, absolutely shocking. So I don't think they've strengthened well at all. So I actually think this is going to be a very tight match, like you said. There's definitely going to be goals. Like, I don't know what you're thinking, but I've actually gone for a 2-2 in this one. I see a draw just because I think I think I think Solanke's also missing from this game too. I think he's still injured, and Richarlison's injured as well. So it's going to be Son up front, which might also help Tottenham because I have my agenda of Son on that left wing cooking. But we're gonna circle back to that in a couple of weeks. But or in a few when we're back from the international break. But I think because of how Newcastle have been strengthened, because of their performance at the start of this season, because I think Tottenham will get goals, but I also trust them to also concede as well. I don't see them like doing enough to kind of leave St. James's Park with all 3 points. That's why I think I'm going for a 2-2 draw. Don't know what your score prediction is, bro.
I'm going for the exact same thing.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, I'm going for the exact same thing, 2-2.
Yeah. I think that's a safe result. I was even gonna. I don't know how bad the injury was. I was gonna come here and pick up my boy Willock. Obviously, I was watching the game. I think against Forest as well. Was it Forest that they played in the Carabao Cup?
League Cup, yeah, I think it was.
League Cup, yeah, it was. And got a goal, but I think he's injured again, so quite a big game up. Yeah, Tonali coming back. That's gonna be big for Newcastle. Him and Bruno in that midfield. Gonna see what they can cook up. Obviously, Isak has had a really, really slow start to the season, man. So he needs to really wake up too. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against that Tottenham backline again, following last year. I think it's actually funny how Gordon's probably been the most cash money for them, like recently. Like that guy actually
Gordon,
compared to the talk when he came in. Yeah, no, he's done
bro,
really
and
well.
man, like I think he's come into that Newcastle team, and he's been really effective. I rate Gordon.
Yeah, been a big player for them going forward. So this is gonna be a very interesting match, man. It's just about how many goals we're gonna get. I think is really the question. So, all right, cool. Got our prediction. Then we got a couple more games before we round up, bro. This was another game that I think we gotta talk about, especially following the Conference League result. Yeah, I think it was yesterday to Servette, Chelsea versus Palace. Coming off the back of their 6-2 win against Wolves. Talk to me, bro. Are they gonna follow that up with another win, or do you see this one being a little upset, a little spark in the jaw? What do you think about this game?
I see them getting the win. I do see them getting the win. Yeah, I do see them getting the win. I think, man, with that attack, I think they're gonna create a lot of chances, and I think they've got enough to get the win. Obviously, the result on Thursday, obviously, it was one of them ones you laugh, you keep it moving, just like
it was very
okay.
enjoyable.
Yeah, you're just like okay, you just look laugh. Okay,
bro. I watched the match, bro, and I watched the match, and these guys are still in that Confidence League by the skin of their teeth, bro. I tell you,
Confidence League.
Yeah, Confidence League, bro. Confidence League by the skin of their teeth. So man, we'll keep an eye on that one. But I think they're through to the next round now. But banter aside, like jokes aside, I think Chelsea will get the win too, man. I think Palace haven't started off the season on flames either. I feel like Eze is probably loading into the year. I've been seeing a lot of talk in his name following the first couple of games as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back. But I think this is the kind of game that I think I'm going to start making more of a decision on Chelsea, like I was saying this year, about what kind of team they are. Because the Wolves game was a good performance. I have to give them the credit. Big win for them. But I think these kind of games are the Palaces, the West Hams, the teams that will give them respect in the top 10, but have enough of a threat as well that will test their defense. I think that's where I'm really trying to see how they hold up. Wolves didn't approach the game how I thought they were going to. I thought they were going to be a lot more reserved and counter, but it looked like they looked at Chelsea and said, we can go head to head with you guys. And they were doing it for the first half, but in the second half, the quality shone and they fell apart. But so in this game, I think Palace will actually show them the respect, and then we'll see how Chelsea's defense holds up. I think that's been something that hasn't been spoken about a lot, is that their defense has been shocking, bro. Like for how much they've spent, the fact that the defense is still their fans were still like really looking at seeing whether they're going to get centre back, after how much they spent on that defense. Like they're not confident at all in these man keeping clean sheets. Badia Shield, that looked like he was going to be a good signing for them. He's falling off the cliff. The Sassy looking like a disaster. Well, who else they got? Kowo, like I guess he's there promising. but we'll see how you. Fofana's coming off a big injury, so yeah. I think Chelsea defensively, the question is still there in terms of how good they're going to be when they go against these Premier League teams that have a big enough threat against them. So yeah, I have actually gone for a 1-1. You know, actually, in this game. As much as I think Chelsea have probably enough. I don't know if you saw the comments of a few. I don't know how long ago it was that Caicedo came out and said that he prefers playing away from home, because the fans as well are on them. The Chelsea fan base. That these guys actually don't enjoy playing at home right now. So I think that little thing, and just the fact that I think Palace too are going to be better than Wolves were defensively. I'm going for a 1-1 right now. Like I've actually changed that last second. I think I was initially thinking maybe Chelsea might edge it, but I think in the moment I'm going for a 1-1 right now. What are you saying?
I'm going for a 2-1 Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I think Chelsea get the win. I think Palace are due a goal, man. Eze, he's been unlucky.
Hey, bro, my boy. I don't think he was agreed in time, bro. I needed Nketiah to come back home, come back to his Chelsea home and do something. Him and Mateta up front, big man and small man. But unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna play. But what do you think about that move actually? Two up front.
Two up front.
Two up front. What do you think about that Nketiah move to Palace?
Good move.
We've never spoken about that.
Good move. Good move.
Yeah, I think that's a big move for him as well. Like, I think one thing I'll say about him is that, at Arsenal, he wasn't given runs of games. And he did say himself, too, that it's hard when you're coming off the bench and you're being asked to impact a game. Sometimes you actually need the minutes in your legs. You need to run the games, you need a goal, and then you build on it. And I think at Palace, they give him that. I think he's a good Premier League striker. You'll get at least, I'll say at least 13 to 15 goals if he gets a full season.
Ooh, what, Premier goals?
That's good. I think so, man. I think
if he does that, they'll be delighted.
I actually think he can, bro.
The thing is with Mateta as well, though.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is that how many? Will he be a starter, or will he again be competing with Mateta? But I'm actually going to stand by that prediction. Yeah, or an overall exchange of 13 Prem goals. Let me know. I'm guessing you. Yeah, I knew it. I knew he was gonna say no way. I knew it. But it's okay.
No, if he gets that, he's done. Yeah, that's
no. Yeah. And genuinely, again, this is from someone who's watched him. I think again, he's a player where he's unfortunately the product has grown past him, and he's not good enough for where we want to be right now. But he showed me enough when he started games and he was given a run of fixtures that he will score goals in the Prem. So
I think he'll score goals in the Prem. I think for Palace, if he's getting 13 or 15 Prem goals, and then obviously you got Mateta, like he's getting his goals, and then you get Eze getting his goals, then then they're cooking. It's looking good for Palace, Yeah.
But we'll come back to that end of the season. Whether I've overshot there with that, but I'm a stand on that prediction.
No, that's a nice prediction, man. Nice, just off the cuff,
I like it. I rate Nketiah, man. It just didn't work out Arsenal, and I ultimately too, man. It's that whole thing of I think he's been a successful academy player. Understand? When the player comes through. I guess we bought him from Chelsea, but he's still like a young player when we bought him in. But when a player comes through and you're able to flip him for 25 to 30 mil, I think you can't complain, man. I think you can't complain. I guess that's same with you guys. Oh, I guess that's with you guys and Tom. I don't know whether there's any leaving words, bro.
Hey, man, thanks. But I think McTominay's someone, he loved the club. Obviously, he scored a lot of clutch goals, came through our academy. Yeah, man. I wish McTominay the best. I wish him the best. I hope he has a great time at Napoli. I hope he performs well. Man. Obviously he came last season. He came clutch for us on so many different instances. You get me. And I think obviously he's kind of had a little bit of a hard time as regards to a lot of the criticism, but a lot of it's not his fault. In the sense, and what I mean by that is just when it's you've got a cap as regards to what you can do as a player, and it's just man, bro, I feel no, so it's just, I'm not gonna be out here. I'm not gonna be out here just getting onto him you know what McTominay is do you get me? Man, I wish him the best. Do you get me? He loves United.
football fans will get onto the talented players that they like. They'll get onto the players that clearly aren't good enough more than the names that they like. And that's just another thing. I think a lot of fans from a lot of clubs that see that all the time, where the big name players that should actually be delivering, we give them a pass. But then the players that we all know are here on hard work is why they're here. Those are the ones that you want to be getting onto all the time.
I just said hard work. You done it,
bro. Hard work, bro. They're here for effort.
You know what it is? Of course, like, you know, to be playing in the Premier League, of course, like the talent is there. Like, you get me? But obviously, in comparison, I know what you're saying. In comparison to, you know, that certain players that you're comparing them with, then yeah, man. Like, bro, do you get me? You just know there's a cap. There's a cap to certain players. Like, do you get me? Like, so yeah, man. So
nah, it's facts. So yeah, good luck to him, man. And yeah, that'll be an interesting move to keep an eye on. And then, bro, the final game I wanted to touch on before we kind of just do a quick FPL roundup update on where the league is, and then kind of go from there. I thought this one could be a little interesting as well. West Ham versus City. Just because I always feel like kind of like I was saying with Chelsea, I feel like these are the kind of games for Man City where if there's any chink in the armor, if there's any kind of, you're not gonna just win every game apart from maybe when you play Liverpool, Arsenal, United, those are the games that maybe you might, just because of rivalry or whatever, extra factors, you might drop points. I think West Ham are the type of team that could, if there's ever going to be an upset for a City. So I thought this one could be a little interesting to touch. I don't know whether you think this can be an easy game. Hoping. So hoping.
Yeah, I am hoping. No, I'm not saying this will hope you, but I said I know you're hoping.
No, I am, bro. I am. I really am. Because there's not many teams in this league that you think can take any points from City. Just that they're defensively capable to withstand the 90 minutes and they have enough going forward to get a goal. Like, those two kind of factors aligning at the same time is very difficult in this Premier League, man. Very, very difficult in this Premier League. But yeah, bro, what are you thinking about this game? You think it's gonna be comfortable, or you think it might be a bit tough?
I think, obviously West Ham, they've got some quality players like Kudus, man. Like Ten Hag, out of all your signings, you know, when you're going for ex-Ajax players, etc. And man, West Ham said, Kudus, come over here. And man.
Bro, the fact that he went there and took Anthony instead.
Man. But Kudus, obviously there's Bowen. Like, West Ham have got a lot of good players. Obviously, shout out Wan-Bissaka. Do you get me? Doing his thing over there. But I think West Ham definitely have the players, again, Paqueta. They've got the players to cause City problems. But ultimately, man, I can't see past the City win. Like, I can't. Like, I think Haaland, how he started this season, man. Like, man. Like,
bro, he even scored outside the box, just to even show.
Man.
He said, you guys will say I only score tapping.
Tapping. Look, he did obviously play at the Euros. He looks like he's had a good pre-season. He looks fit. He looks ready. He looks sharp. Like, man. So, and then even De Bruyne as well. Like, do you get me? Like, I think obviously Pep's got to manage him properly this season. But like, I just think City will have too much. So I can't see past the City win.
Nah, that's fair. And I was hoping you were gonna say otherwise, because I agree. Like, I think this is the win for City as well, man. As much as I would love West Ham to be signed for us, but I think Haaland has started off the season too strong, and De Bruyne looks like he's still fresh right now, so it's a bit long. But again, hopefully West Ham can surprise us. I've actually gone for 3-1 City win in this one, where I just I think they're gonna get goals, and I think they'll concede as well, though, because City recently looks like keeping clean sheets is now a priority for them, especially Edison. But bro, what do you think about this one? What's your score prediction?
Exact same, bro.
Oh, 3-1 as well.
I went for 3-1. I think City will have too much, and City just seem to just concede. It seems sometimes it just looks like they're bored, and they just need something to just get them.
So we need extra motivation.
Extra motivation. Do you get me? Sometimes they just look like they're bored. They're just like, cool, we've got a game now. So man, 3-1. That's what I've got.
3-1. I think and I think those were the kind of 5 games I wanted to get our predictions on. So on the Sunday episode, we'll hold ourselves accountable and then we'll see how accurate we are in our prediction. That's one thing I was thinking about, bro. I'm actually happy about this kind of I guess this journey of recording our thoughts throughout the season. The fact that you can actually come back and say whether how right were you when you said stuff. Because so many times when people talk football, there's no accountability. You can just say it and then nothing comes of it. But so in the comments, if you to be involved, drop your comments, let us know what your predictions are, and then when the results actually come through, we can come back and see how accurate you were too. Because it's all nice just talking. This is what's gonna happen, and then it doesn't happen, and you can just kind of blend into the background. But nah, over here we're holding everyone accountable. So we'll address that one on the reaction episode. So thank you for that, bro. And those are the kind of 5 Premier League matches we're gonna go through to kind of round up the episode, and then we'll kind of give our final kind of, I guess, debrief on, I guess, what the concluded deals on deadline day is. I wanted to have a quick update on how the FPL league is going. Again, for anyone who's not currently part of the league, then please make sure to join in the link below. I just get this up and I get 1 second. That's all there. So in the comments below, we have the league code. Please make sure to join if you're trying to get involved in the discussions. We'll shout you out depending on how good you're doing. You're top of the league. But to initially start the FPL kind of update, bro, this was the kind of final results from game week 2. 83 points for me, 77 for you. Our boy Haaland came through and got and cleaned up. I think the biggest talking point going into FPL this week, bro, was to triple captain or not to triple captain was the question. How close were you to triple captaining? Obviously
close,
before
bro.
you knew what happened. Close.
I was close. So, I was close. Like, I think ultimately I just said, you know what, I just don't want to do it this early in the season. But I was close because when you're looking at it and you're everything that I was just saying about Haaland, how he's been looking, and then obviously you look at Ipswich, obviously shout out Ipswich, McKenna, hey man, I'm supporting you guys. But you're looking at
bro,
it.
I asked you that question for a reason.
You know what, City? You know what, City? You're expecting City to obviously score a couple of goals, and you're expecting Haaland to be involved heavily. So I was close, but ultimately I just said, you know what, too early, man.
I think that was my thinking. So I thought, if this doesn't work out, bro, imagine how much pain it would be to go through the rest of the season knowing that you've used your triple captain and it didn't work and everyone else still has it. And I think that was a thought that stopped me in the final moment. But my next question to you, and I'll answer it myself too. Regrets, and I have big regrets because I find it hard game week this season that players gonna get at least to match what Haaland has done. So I feel like people who went early, I feel like they've already won. But let's see in it. Unless you can time it really well, I think it's gonna be really difficult now to get a better hold than
to get the same
one.
And I think that's the thing, because I think a lot of people assume that when it's a double game week that that's necessarily the better time to triple captain, where not necessarily. Like, I think last season I think Haaland got like I think he blanked in one game and he scored in the other, and but he didn't do anything crazy, so it was just it's not a guarantee that if you triple captain in a double game week, then you're gonna get
and I was even seeing something about this season. There's going to even be less double game weeks than there have been in previous years as well. And obviously we have the mystery chip that's coming in the new year that no one knows what that's going to be. So that might also be a factor that you might want to play that in a double game week. So I definitely have a lot of regrets in not triple captain in Haaland for this week. But I think ultimately I just thought, as banked as it was on paper, I was like, it feels too early to go. And I was thinking Rodri's not back here. City might not be in full flow, but all of that was a mistake. In hindsight, it was a mistake. So I thought that was like a big talking point. Another big talking point is Isak. I think that's 2 game weeks now where maybe he hasn't really delivered the points that a lot of people thought he would. I don't know whether you're getting any itchy kind of feet. You want to give us a little exclusive? Let us know, bro. Trying to change him out this week.
We'll talk soon.
That's him. And I think probably the other very big talking point from FPL this week, bro, is in Cuckoo. What are we gonna do about this 6.5 mil that we all thought was banked, guaranteed?
That one, I'll even tell you now, man. He's gone. He's gone, man. Bro, I won't even lie to you. He's gone, bro.
I hear it.
Gone, bro.
I hear it.
I couldn't
I'll
say
let
it
the
no
people
more,
know.
man.
So, yeah, I'm
I
done.
couldn't say it no more, bro. He's gone.
Yeah.
I had to get him out of here. I had to get him out of here, man.
I'm not shocked at all, bro.
Too much
I'm not shocked at
uncertainty, man.
all.
Man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
With them getting Sancho as well now, yeah, bro. Everyone, this is a PSA. Okay, we're all unanimously taking this guy out of our team. Yeah, it's not looking good right now. Oh, it's not looking like it's paid off. That 6.5 has been too much. So yeah. I don't know if you have any kind of thoughts on your team, bro. Before we kind of look at the person who's top this week, and we look at the league table going into game week 3.
Yeah, I think obviously, Haaland done what we thought Haaland would do. It's not really a differential, I think. Actually, it's not true because there's a few people that don't have Haaland in his team. Yeah, there's quite a few teams who have gone non-Haaland this year. So that's actually not true. Like, he is actually a differential in some cases. But like Haaland done what? Yeah. You know, I thought, there's no way I'm not captaining him this week. Captained him, done the job. Obviously, like with FPL is one of the funny ones because I always want like the ops to lose, man. But do you get me? But obviously, like, if you're not gonna lose, then let me at least be right. Do you get me?
I hear it. That's really FPL.
But,
it's true.
Do you get me? Let me be at least right with my guesses. But fam, don't ever get it twisted. I want all the ops to lose, bro. Do you get me? I don't want that to be misconstrued. But I think Rodgers, he had a very good game against you guys. And then on another day, do you get me? Watkins, like most times, is burying that first chance, and then that's an assist for him. And and then obviously I had Ahmad on the bench.
Oh you did.
And that wasn't a lack of faith in Ahmad at all. That was just simply because I never thought he would start. Especially because condolences to him. Like I know, I think he lost his stepmom. So I just didn't think he would start. That was the only reason why I didn't play him. If I thought that he was gonna play, then I would have started him. Like that's literally all there was with Ahmad there. And then man. Like I think going into the next game week is gonna be interesting because I think even like in options, like there's quite a few, like it's going to be interesting to see what people go with. But like overall decent week, and Cuckoo let down. He just needs to get out of here, man. He just needs to get out of here, man. But,
Eze for me is the player too. I think this is his last week. This might be his last opportunity against Chelsea this week, bro. Because he's also not delivered at all this first couple of game weeks in. So to be fair, I think he's been a bit unlucky as well, like hitting the crossbar or the free kick that was disallowed. So I'm gonna give him one more chance. But I think overall, I always look at the average, get higher than the average, and I think it's been a decent week. Like Highland, maybe it would have been better if maybe the triple captain came in. That would have helped. I kind of going into, I guess, looking at how the table was looking right now, where I'm actually shocked that 2 for 2 actually managed to stay top of the league, even without, I guess, being one of the teams that doesn't have Highland in his team, which was quite surprising, and fair play to him. Like, we'll see how long that works out, like not having Highland, because I think a lot of people closed in compared to last week, because I even see on Orthodox change is right on his tail in second, 1 point behind. I see you up there too, bro, in third place. I think last week I was like 12th. So having a Highland as well has been a big difference for me, where I'm at least in the conversation for top 4 again. So
things could change quick, man.
They can be. That's what we say, bro. It's a 38 game season, 38 week season. So like can't count your chickens too early. But just looking at his team, don't know if you have any kind of big thoughts. The interesting one, I actually really regret not going for the Arsenal defense. Our defense, the first few games,
that surprised me. Bro.
And I'm that's one thing I'm regretting, because I didn't think we'd actually keep Well, to be fair, I should have been right in the Villa game. We shouldn't have kept a clean sheet in that match.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Brighton,
yeah, yeah.
I also think I would be surprised if we also keep a clean sheet in a Brighton match as well. So again, I had footballing reasons for not thinking that we would keep clean sheets, but we have been, which I'm definitely regretting right now. I see that Rice Lieber combo, which served 2 for 2 very well this week. And yeah. I think it's definitely heating up. I think looking at the league table as well, like I think everyone is starting to like the points gap on Sam from first down is a lot tighter than it was after the first game week, and I'm sure that's going to continue as we go on. So yeah, no, definitely another interesting week in the FPL landscape. I'm interested to see what moves people make this week, and again, we'll have another update on this stream next week and see how that's going throughout the season. So yeah, but I don't know if you have any kind of final remarks in FPL.
Hey man, nah, just again, it's gonna be a long season. There's gonna be ups and downs. So yeah, man, like yeah, it's gonna be fun to see different people's strategies and what teams they go for, and yeah, to see like the swings like week in week out. Like yeah, 1 week. Do you get me? One good week, and you can shoot up the table. So
Nah,
yeah,
facts. Facts. I just saw a comment here by Nick that says, yeah, Ten Hag versus Slot 2-2, which again, yeah, I think that's the result I went for. I think that's a very good shout, very safe shout for this game. But yeah, bro, I think that is the FPL section wrapped up, and that was the main kind of, I guess, the agenda for this episode.
I was about to say, bro, you went for 2-1, bro. Liverpool, bro.
Did I go for 2-1 Liverpool? Oh, I did. I actually thought I went 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I was going to go 2-2.
Yeah, you were gonna, yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I was gonna go 2-2. But yeah. And yeah, I don't know if there's any kind of big kind of transfer kind of news to wrap it up. Any kind of final thoughts. I saw earlier that an Old Exchange put that I don't know if the Tony deal to Saudi has been completely confirmed yet. Well, if that's been if we got a here we go there, let us know. Just quickly looking to see if there's any kind of big breaking. I saw that.
Yeah, Sterling's got the here we go.
But the here we go. Yeah, good move. I take it. From almost having nothing. The Sterling is big improvements.
I think Chalobah's gone to I think Crystal Palace on loan.
That's okay. That's an interesting move as well. That's a good move for them as well. Good move for them. So any other big I just see now that Marino's out for 6 to 8 weeks. Oh my chest. My chest. Oh my goodness. Yeah. If no one's and people didn't see that he got a shoulder injury in training earlier, and we thought it might be like 4 weeks, but it's looking like 6 to 8, which is nasty.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, man.
Yeah. But hey, we can't complain too much, man. You guys had what Euro come in and be out for 3 months. It happened.
Like, it's really when that happens, yeah, man. But you just hope that they come back better and stronger. Like, remember Kobe, it happened with him pre-season. And thankfully he came back and he had a great breakthrough campaign. So yeah, man, it's one of them ones like as fans, you don't want to see it happen, but you just hope that they come back better.
I just saw man. I can't laugh at this shit. You know what I'm doing today, bro. Oh my god, the content online is gonna be sweet. Because I'm already seeing online now the backlash. I'm not getting that Tony and Osman deal over the line. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
There's gonna be an implosion tonight. But yeah, I think that was the main kind of things I wanted to go through for this stream, bro. And if you have any kind of final words or final things before we wrap it up.
Hey man, I know for that's change, man. I hope so, man. I hope so. That's what I've gone with. And Sancho to Chelsea. Yep.
Here we go.
Sancho
that's wrapped up. I don't know what you think about it on Orthodox Change, but I think it's definitely a very good move by United, man. I would have said man. I don't know how long Ten Hag is gonna be there. Maybe the next guy could have worked out with, but who knows? Maybe it's better to just what's it called? I guess he said he can go. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Ade Taylor says our squad depth, man, uncomfortable conversations to be had. No, what's good? Add some more context to Ade. Obviously, as I know you're an Arsenal fan, so we definitely have lost like quite a lot of players this season with that the Nketiah, ESR. I guess it looks like I'm bringing one blank there. I'm going to say so. Yeah. Did anyone else go out? ESR and Ketio from our attack. I think that those are the two that were confirmed. Confirmed.
Smith Rowe.
Oh yeah, Smith Rowe. Yeah, so yeah, he's gone now and Ketio's gone out. And yeah, but I guess we brought in Sterling. I think that's probably stronger squad depth than we had last season, you know, because I think Sterling would get more minutes than we were given to ESR and Nketiah. I think he'll eat up those minutes that went towards them. Squad depth wise, probably where we're weak is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm add more context now. If anyone else, I don't know what you think, bro. I'm actually not too mad about our. I think if we didn't get at least Sterling in, is when I would have been a lot more in agreement with like our squad depth would be looking shocking. But yeah, defensively, midfield wise, and going forward, I'll take an extra body, but I don't think it's like an issue squad depth wise. So no, you think, bro.
I'm mad. I think I lagged in it. I think I lagged. I didn't deep that you already said Smith Rowe. Did you already say Smith Rowe?
Yeah, I did.
But squad depth wise, I think what a lot of Arsenal fans would have wanted was like that major signing where it's just like, you know, that X factor signing, Nico Williams, Isak. But yeah, that's not been able to happen. But I think Arsenal, they're okay. Like I think they're all right. Yeah, I think they're okay.
Ade says the ESR, Nketiah, Reece. Yeah, did Reece actually end up going somewhere? I haven't seen anything confirmed with Reece because I feel like that's who my brain lagged. I was trying to think of Nelson, whether he went out or not. But I think he's still here. Okay. I know Vieira, yeah, he went out on loan back. Yeah, Jesus is super injury prone, which you know me, bro. I'm part of the Jesus defense league, but even I have to say right now, I'm tired. Like it's looking long, man. I don't know if he's ever going to recover from these injuries, so it's looking it's not looking great. And yeah, he's definitely a big issue because it's true. But I would like to think that can't be relying on him up front. I agree. I don't think we will be. The good thing is at least with Sterling coming in now, it provides more kind of squad depth on the left wing as well, which now also means that I see Trossard being like a backup false nine to Havertz and Jesus. So I think we also can use him there too. But yeah, I agree. It's definitely not ideal for Jesus' injury right now. Like, that's why we had to get at least a Sterling in today. Like I think I'll be losing a lot more if we had let all these players go and we didn't bring in at least a Sterling. So yeah, I also says that basically pray that Saka and Havertz don't get injured. It's true. It's true. If they get injured, it's very, very long. It's very, very long. But again, I guess it's that whole question with squad depth sometimes is interesting because you look at other like big teams. Oh, Reece Nelson has gone to Fulham. Okay. I didn't know that actually got confirmed. Yeah, no, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, again, for him personally, that's a good move. That's a good move for him. Like, Partey, and he's not happy at all. He said, also, Partey in 2024. Yeah, I agree, bro. We need to definitely be letting Uncle retire soon. But yeah, I think he has one more season in him. Like, I think with Marino, I expect the midfield three starting should be Tilly, Rice, Marino, and Odegaard. So I don't think he's going to be starting a lot of games. So I think it should be okay, Andy. Don't worry, bro. It should be all right. But yeah, please keep it coming. Is there anything you're going to get off your chest, bro? We can talk about it together. But yeah, bro, I think that's kind of like the main things I had in store for this stream. Should we wrap it up here until the Sunday episode where we reflect on the games? Call it
yeah, man.
Time, bro.
Hey, yeah, man. Like a lot of football on the weekend. Actually, just very, very, very quickly. Madrid.
Oh, obviously,
yeah. Like they've probably not gone off to the start that unorthodox change is happy with the signing. Ugarte. Man. Hopefully he helps us, man. Hopefully he helps us. But yeah, very quickly with Madrid. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, Mbappe and, there's been a lot of discussions regarding him, Vinny, Rodrigo, them all kind of wanting to play off the left, like Mbappe not being a number 9. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think everything will work out fine? Do you think Ancelotti will be able to sort it out?
It's long, bro. It's actually very, very long. I I think again, this is where we say Ancelotti. This is where he gets paid to fix in it because I'm not a tactical. I'm not a football genius. But before he went to Madrid, bro, I said, how are you gonna make Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Mbappe, who all like playing on the left? How are you going to make that work? Ancelotti came out and he told us that, yeah, when you got good players, it'll work. I said, okay, please show us now how it's gonna work with all these good players. And yeah, it hasn't started off well at all, man. Like I've seen the discussions of does Mbappe need to humble himself and go right wing? Is he just not a striker? Like, do we have to accept it? But I think it's at a point now where I think they have to just make him work as a striker. I think that's the only way this still works out, is that they need to find a way. Well, they might have to sacrifice Rodrigo. It might need to be maybe a two up front like they were playing last season, and it's Vinicius and Mbappe. And Rodrigo, unfortunately, it's not your fault, but there's names at stake here. There's money at stake. There's, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to hold bench and maybe move on next summer. But with all three of them, yeah, right now I'm not seeing it working. I think probably their best hope is probably Vinicius and Mbappe as a front two. And they can take turns playing on the left, and the other person is occupying the central positions. But yeah, it's long, bro. Right now, I don't know how they make it work. But I already said before the move happened, I don't know how they're going to make it work. So
yeah, I think a lot of people are looking at it and thinking, Mbappe's best position is off the left. Like,
he's off the left wing.
Position is off the left. And then, Rodrigo, to his credit, he's been able to be quite adaptable. But yeah, his best position is probably off the left as well. Man, it's just one of them ones where you're looking at it and you're just like, you've got three players, all their best positions.
Bro, for the Nigerians.
Like, but you know what?
And that's why I don't go stand for them either, bro. Oju Kokoro. For the middle, understand, bro, greed. This is what greed gets you, bro. When you're greedy. So yeah, bro. Let's see how they make it work. What are you gonna say? Sorry.
I was just about to say that Ancelotti is like, like he's a manager where it's like, if like when you're looking at managers who potentially can try and make something like that work, Ancelotti's name will be there. So let's see what he does.
So I think this is gonna be another confirmation that he's already a great manager, but if he can make this work, it's another confirmation. I can't lie though, Rodrigo's not coming to United, bro. He's not coming to United. You guys need to show that you're not killing careers first before he wants to come there. Because he's gonna have the pick of whatever team he wants. So that's one thing I'll say for Rodrigo. He's definitely a very good footballer. But just unfortunately, just because of them making that Mbappe move work, he might have to be the sacrificial lamb. Like, and I know they'll still get very good money for him. Like, so, yeah. So, bro, it's everyone thought Barcelona were down and out in the mud, but just the fact that they have a team that's functional, they might actually, just that might be enough to get them over the line this year. So, that La Liga race is going to be interesting to see whether, I don't know if you saw too, while we're on La Liga, that they're talking a lot on, what's his name, bro? Alvarez. Atletico. I mean, he hasn't had a flying start either. So
seen that.
That conversation is also loaded. The agendas are agendaing. So
agendas, damn, they're strong.
Bro, they're agendaing. So how he's gonna work out there? It's gonna be another confirmation of whether Simeone actually does kill attackers, attackers lives. So we'll see whether he can actually make it work. Because it's not been a great start right now. But yeah. Well, are you confident? Do you think they're gonna make that Mbappe? What's your take on that? Quickly.
What the Mbappe? I think Mbappe's best position is off the left. Like, that's his best position, and Vinny's best position is off the left. Like, so it looks like Mbappe's gonna have to be the one that sacrifices. Because I think out of the two of them, Mbappe's gonna be the one that's gonna play the 9. When you say make it work, I think is an interesting question because there's making it work as regards to are Real Madrid still gonna win? And Real Madrid, their DNA is winning. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they still find a way to win. Is Mbappe going to be the player that many of us expect him to be? And is he going to continue to peak higher and higher, or is the conversation now going to turn into he's already peaked and
Oh,
now
talk
he's,
about
do
it.
you get me? That's a different conversation. And I think,
Mm,
yeah, like he's now I think when we're talking about how is it gonna work, I think that's separate. Because Real Madrid winning, Real Madrid no, they just find ways how to win. But when we're talking about, oh, we've got someone who is a world-class talent, is he going to be able to like have the legacy that we think he could have? That's a separate question. And yeah, I think his best position is off the left. So I think if we want to see Mbappe like play like how we want him to play, then I think he can't be restricted just to be like he can't be restricted just as a nine. Like I think Ancelotti's got to figure out a way where the attack is just quite fluid, where there's a lot of interchanging of positions, and yeah, like he has license to roam. But yeah, so yeah, but like I said, like yeah, if you're gonna look at managers in the world and say, you know what, you can make this work, Ancelotti, his name will be there. So yeah,
yeah,
man, we'll see.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely want to keep an eye on this season. Like,
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to keep an eye on this season. I guess quickly, bro. We didn't touch on it, but kind of final remarks. We let the good people go to bed. What was your I guess initial kind of thoughts on the Champions League draw? Kind of flash it up to you in terms of like the kind of final result. But I get my question is more in terms of the obviously most of us, apart from the football manager players who have exactly how this thing is gonna run. Most of us are gonna learn as we go in general in terms of how it works, but just the concept of how they change the Champions League moving forward. Are you a fan of it? Are you
You
not a
you
fan?
you
What do
know
you think?
what? Like I'm not mad at the league phase. I'm not mad at
Mm,
it. I'm not mad at it. I can't lie. I'm not mad at it. I know it is more games, but
mm,
yeah, like I'm not mad at it. Like I was looking at some of those fixtures and I was thinking, you know what, this could be very interesting. And then yeah, having like the whole like playoff rounds and yeah, the
mm,
top eight, and then obviously then it kind of goes to the more traditional knockout phase. Like, yeah, I'm not mad at it. Like I'm not mad at
mm.
it. You know. Yeah, I'm not mad
No,
at it.
no, no.
Like, actually, yeah. Like I was looking at it, I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. Like,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Like I think that's my kind of initial thought as well.
yeah.
I actually think
Mhm.
it's going to be really good for the Champions League because yeah, what would happen is you'd have two teams that usually they're going to go through, and then you have the
Mm,
other two teams. Maybe one will say, you know what, we're going to just accept Europa League and what happened, and the other team goes
mm,
out. So the last
mm,
kind of 2-3 games, usually you kind of already know who's qualifying in most groups
mhm,
because there's like a clear kind of hierarchy, and there's usually a lot
mhm,
of dead rubber games in there as well in the group
mhm.
stages. Whereas I feel like with this league format, how I'm kind of seeing it, bro, it's kind of like you have what, like, is it eight? There's 8 different teams. Was it one? No, 9 different, what I guess, um, leagues there would be. I'm kind of seeing it's like 9 mini leagues, and there's the main league, I guess, updated based on the results within those 9 mini leagues. Because you think about it, your fixtures have already been set, so you're in a league with those teams that you're playing over that. Let's sign those 8 games, but then your result goes towards the main league, and then the top 8 teams go through, and then I don't know. Again, someone can educate me. I don't know where if it's like 9th to 16th or whatever number it
Yeah.
is, then
So
go
I
through and
think
do the
it's
knockouts. Or do you
I
actually get
think
it?
I think it's the top eight go straight
Okay,
through. Then I think
okay,
it's from 9 to 24. They go into
okay.
the playoffs. They go into
Uh,
playoffs, and then obviously the winner of the playoffs, I think they now make up the they complete the round of 16 for the
okay.
knock.
And then wait, that playoff, do you know, is it a one-off game or is it 2 games to make it out the playoffs? I don't know how that bit works.
Oh, whether it's one or two, nah, I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure about
So
that. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of us are gonna have to. Yeah, we'll find out this season exactly how it's gonna run. But that the
Mhm,
concept of it, I think, one, it definitely gives us a lot much bigger games earlier on, like off the
mhm,
bat. Like I think Liverpool are inviting Wimbledon home first
mhm,
game with the champs. So that's gonna be lovely to watch. There's gonna be so many more big games to kind of tune in for. Excited
mhm,
about that, and just even see how like, the different leagues shape up as it goes. Like
mhm,
now you're gonna have less of the whole you win your first, like, let's say 3 games doing the old kind of format, and then you can relax a bit for the final 3. Whereas now, even if you start off winning, you don't know how the other leagues are shaping up. So you want to
mhm,
be in that top 8 to avoid those extra 2 fixtures. if you fall out of it. So yeah, nah, I think it's gonna make the Champions League a lot more interesting this season. So definitely looking forward to that. I think the funniest kind of talking point off the back of the draw, bro, was PSG's fixtures because I don't know what happened. I don't know if the check bounced or something because bro, they got done so dirty. What? Man City, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal. This way, am I looking at the right thing? Is that the final? That's their fixtures, right? Am I looking at the right thing? Because we are playing PSG. I didn't know they're playing. Yeah, I might be looking at the wrong thing here. Hot 2 fixtures. I thought this was going to be the line of their fixtures, but now I'm not sure whether they're playing. Are they actually playing City as well? PSG in their fixtures. What? I know they're playing Arsenal.
Yeah.
Are they actually? Are they actually? Man, I don't know why I thought. It's so confusing, bro. Because now I'm deep in that. Like, Arsenal plays PSG, but then that they also have completely different fixtures as well. Like for the rest of the tournament, for the rest of that league format. Yeah, this is gonna be crazy. I mean, something I only clocked that just now. Cause I thought the 8 teams would all be playing each other. Like that they got drawn against, but I didn't realize that everyone has different fixtures. Like
it's wild.
Crazy. Like, I'm actually just having that realization live as well that everyone has completely different fixtures too. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then I guess the final kind of talking point, bro, I was gonna just bring up. I guess we also have the Europa League as well for you and Tottenham. I don't know if you had a look at your draw and your kind of initial kind of thoughts. I just get I guess your fixtures up quickly as well. Share screen. Don't know what your thoughts on the format in this, bro. What you saying about your fixtures? Talk to me.
Just get through, bro.
Just get through. Is there any ties you're worried about? I know. Oh, you guys are inviting back.
Fenerbahce away is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Mourinho, that's going to be the atmosphere. Like, that's going to be interesting. They're saying what Fred Amrabat pivot.
Oh yeah, they took your pivot. They took your pivot.
That's what they're saying. Do you get what I mean? Like, yeah, they've got the ex-United players and created the pivot. So yeah, but yeah, man. Like overall, yeah, United just get through, man. Just
what are you saying right now? Would you say? Would you say your favorites?
What for the Europa League?
Yeah.
Like I feel like as a United fan, like again, I want us to take it seriously, and I don't want it to compromise our league form as well. Like I think, cool, you're in the Europa League, try and win it. And so as a United fan, I'm going into it like thinking that we can win it, and hopefully we do win it. But obviously you're looking at a lot of the other teams, and like the Europa League, there are some good teams there, and we've spoken about trophies, etc. And obviously Tottenham, and I think they're probably going to be looking at this tournament thinking, you know what, like this can end our trophy drought, and like I think a lot of the Tottenham fans will be wanting Ants to take it seriously as well. So like I think bro. You're in the Europa League for many years. Do you get me? You didn't get the win. So you of all people, you'll know that it's not as easy as people think.
Nah, bro. Bro. Do you have no excuses here? Because especially the fact that the Champions League team aren't dropping in either. You or Tottenham, one of you need to bring this back to the UK, bro. One of you need to bring this back to the UK.
All I said was that
man. You try to run a disingenuous argument. I'm not having it.
Bro. In 2017 under Mourinho, bro, we won the Europa League, bro. Do you get me?
Yeah, bro. Again.
I'm just talking. All I said again. We're a show of facts. We're a show of facts. I just said you guys were in it for a long time, and you weren't aiming to win the trophy. Do you get me? So you know how difficult it can be. That's all I said.
Nah, but it's calm for you guys. You guys got 2 years, 2 trophies, and hug in charge, bro.
That's all, bro. Hey, man. Hopefully 3 years, 3 trophies, man.
Yeah, bro. That's what. So why don't you want to say favorite?
No, even more so. Yo, I told you, fam, don't do that. I said as a United fan, I'm going into it saying, fam, United, I'm trying to see us get the W. Like, I'm going into it saying, yeah, there's no reason why United shouldn't.
No, I just want to hear you say so that United are favourite. That's what I want. I want clarity.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, United are favourites.
I can't. That's what I say. I can't talk for like what the bookmakers' favourites are. For me, I'm going into it saying, yeah, United, you should be winning this. Favourite for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that. Clear.
Okay, look at you. Look at you. Look at you, bro. Hey, man. Again, like I said, man, did you get me? Hopefully, we can succeed where you failed many times. Did you get me?
Well done.
Hopefully.
Well done, bro. Well done. It's all good. This is why when I'm enjoying that 2 weeks after the post Liverpool, don't look at me like I owe you anything.
Hopefully. Hey, bro.
It's because of this, bro.
Bro, again, man, do you get me? I'm just speaking the facts. You gotta talk about the facts. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Man, Jari, I hate United fans, man. But bro, another very good stream as always. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Like, honestly, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining in. If you left a comment, if you watch this afterwards as well, then yeah, please make sure to join us live. More comments, more interactive it is, it just makes the stream better. So yeah, hopefully we'll keep it going. So thank you to everyone again for tuning in. But I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Final words from you, my guy.
Yeah, again, want to echo those thoughts. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in. Thanks for everyone that's left a comment. Thank you to everyone who has watched for 1 minute, who has watched for 2 hours, who has watched for the whole stream. Again, appreciate the feedback, appreciate the engagement. And yeah, man, like, hopefully we'll continue to just, bring more ideas to the table, get better and better. And yeah, man, again, just really, really grateful for all of the support.
Sweet. All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you on the next episode on Sunday where we'll talk about Liverpool dismantling United.
Hey, man, Remy said that, bro.
Don't worry about it. All right. Thanks, everyone. All right.